All right. Well, hello, nerdy neighbors. Welcome to the Nerdy Neighborhood and welcome back to your friendly neighborhood comic show. You can see I did not start the theme song. I have not redone it. And Chase and I, of course, have not redone it. So the theme song's not playing, but we're here. That's the good news. Is
Hi.
we are here, guys. I'm Lauren, your friendly neighborhood bye, and I've got this lovely, awesome dude to my right, but probably left my way. He's right here.
Hey, how's it going? Chase, let's do this.
Let's do this. That's his catchphrase. I love it. And Bolly Rock is here in the chat. If you guys
Hey, buddy, what's going
don't
on?
remember him for some reason, he is our neighborhood by the horns cheerleader. He's been on the show before. He's awesome. So I don't remember which episodes he's been on, to be honest, because did you realize, Chase, it's been 7 months since we've done a live show?
Has it really?
I checked
I know it's been a
earlier.
while. I,
Yeah.
uh,
Mhm.
I thought, when was our last one? I thought our last one was.
It was 7 months ago. I don't know the month. I'd have to
Oh,
count. But when I checked our YouTube videos, our last live was streamed 7 months ago.
oh, well, Happy New Year.
Right?
Merry
Uh,
Christmas.
yeah,
Happy
happy
Valentine's Day.
everything. Hanukkah,
Uh,
Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Absolutely.
I had a birthday. I'm 40 now.
Woo!
That was months
The big
ago.
40. Hell
That was
yeah.
months ago.
I love that. I love that. And Stephen Hayner is in the chat, and he said Happy New Year.
Hey,
He beat
hey
you to
there.
it. You're so right. Happy New Year. I'm so glad Steven's here. He's always such a wonderful supporter too. But yeah, Chase, so you said you turned 40. What else has been happening with you that you want to share real quick?
Nothing really. I've been trying to read comics, a lot of comics, been doing a little bit of writing myself, and
Yes. Yeah.
have been raising kids. I'm the stay-at-home parent, so just
And you're
my
killing
days
it.
are filled with taking care of kids and trying to clean house.
You make it look great, Chase. You make it look
You
great.
haven't seen my house. You don't want me to turn the camera around.
Listen. Hey, I have 4 other siblings. I grew up in a messy house, and my wonderful mother tried to contain all of us. So
It's a challenge. I feel bad for my parents because they had 3 boys and a girl, and then like all of our friends were there all the time too. So
Yep. Chaos 24/7. Well,
yep.
Ian is in the chat. What's up, Ian? Oh, there's your
Hey, come
faces.
on.
Same to you, Ian.
So what's been new with you, Lauren?
Oh, well, I've been promoted at work, which is
Oh,
exciting.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I love my job and it's very stressful. It's both. Um Still dealing with some health stuff. In fact, I have lovely cramps today, which I normally don't have. So that's fun.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm like, oh wait, I'm a woman. What the fuck? Because I usually don't have bad periods or anything. So I'm like, this sucks. So I'm gonna break down every doctor's office I have to make it stop. So it's a great time.
Yeah. Good luck.
I know. Listen, step 1 just happened this week. I got step 2 in March. So we're getting there. But no, things have been good. Pretty up and down. There's some weeks that are like fantastic, and then a few weeks later, it's kind of like a big swing in the face.
Mhm.
But there's just so much really great stuff, I think, in entertainment right now, especially for nerds.
Yeah.
Whatever you're nerdy about, and I think nerdy is a very encompassing term nowadays. But that's why I bothered Chase a few weeks ago, guys, and I was like, hey, so I want to do a live show, but I want to keep it super low key. I'm not sure I can do the high production I used to do right now or anything, but I still want to just sit around and just talk because I miss talking to people, and I get kind of jealous a little bit when I get to see other people doing their great shows and just being able to talk to each other about this stuff, and I'm not able to be a part of it. So I was like, I want to try again. And Chase, of course, was just like, okay, tell me when.
Yeah, let's do it. And we're
So
just going to talk about everything we missed.
yes, everything we missed. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about movies. We're going to talk about indie comics and Kickstarters. We're going to talk about TV shows, video games, Marvel and DC comics and film and TV. We're going to hit everything tonight. So if there's something that has happened in the last 7 months that you want to talk about and either haven't had a chance to talk about or haven't gotten to talk about enough, throw it in the live chat. If we don't get to it immediately, we will do our very best to get to it as well. Because again, we're going to cover a lot of stuff. This is going to be a little different than in the past where we stick strictly to comics and especially indie comics. We're still going to talk about them, of course, because they're the heart of this channel and the heart of what Chase and I both love. But there's so many other things we love. So we got to talk about everything. So that's what we're going to do.
It'll be all encompassing.
Yes. Because I have no self-control at this point. Chase, I do not. So, so movies, Chase, what have you watched in the last 7 months?
In the past 7 months,
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm always here watching stuff with my children. So pretty much anything Pixar's put out, I've been forcing Studio Ghibli on them. So watching Porco Rosso is probably my favorite out of. So I've been trying to push that one. But obviously Totoro.
Oh yeah.
Totoro.
Yeah, he's adorable.
What else? I have a list here. Obviously all the Jurassic Parks and Jurassic Worlds because my kids are obsessed with those and dinosaurs in general.
I didn't watch all the Jurassic Worlds, but I watched all the Jurassic Parks recently when I was sick with this random ass virus that knocked me dead for a week.
Man, okay, so I think number 2 is the weakest out of the first trilogy. Mm-hmm. I love the third one, man. With the pterodactyls and everything. I think
I would agree that the second's the weakest. I think I'd agree.
They had cool parts. I liked when the 2 T-Rexes ripped that person in half,
Yeah.
But it's probably the weakest out of them, in my opinion, because then, the third one was just better, I think. Maybe it's because they got some of the original people back. I don't know. But I really enjoyed the third one.
The third one, I don't even remember the second one that well, but the third one I remember because I remember the pterodactyls and the whole, they grabbed that guy at one point, then they tore him around and that was insane. And then the part where they're on the boat and the guy's just trying to get the fucking phone to be able to tell the woman, you need to send somebody, please. And it was so stressful just watching them fight for that fucking phone. It was wild. That was so good. It was so memorable. So they did a really good job.
Who was the mom in that? For some reason, was Tay Leone the mother in that?
I can't tell you.
That's what I'm thinking in my head. Nope. I could be wrong there. But movie, the last movie I watched was probably Saltburn.
See, I got out of watching that. I'm so glad you brought that up. I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone that voted no in the poll for me to watch Saltburn.
I voted no on that for you.
Thank you, welcome. Chase. Thank you. Because listen, I'm not saying I think it's a bad movie necessarily or whatever. There's just things I've heard about that film that I don't want to watch at this moment in time.
I can so my wife was got me and her best friend Ashley was like, you guys got to watch this movie, it's great. So we were sitting there the whole time waiting, what is so great about this movie that she wants us to see? It's just so slow.
Yeah.
But then there's the shocking parts. But they're it's very close to, there are types of movies I'm not a big fan of, The Talented Mr. Ripley, or the movie that was Rules of Attraction. That was a prequel to American Psycho. There's these slow moving, high society type movies. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that style of movie, but I can see why it was popular. I mean, it's some pretty shocking stuff happens in that thing. And that song at the end is catchy. You can't deny how catchy that song is.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing too. I'm not I even put on my letterbox. I'm not a fan typically of very pretentious, in my opinion. Now that's not fact. I call them pretentious. But the big dramas that are really big for cinephiles and stuff. I respect it as a craft. I also know it's for people that aren't me majority of the time. There are some really high-end dramas I will enjoy. It's not many.
I would never call Saltburn a bad movie because I can understand that it's a good movie. It's just not my kind of movie. But as long as I can see where people get a kick out of making people watch it not knowing what to expect. Because that was some wild stuff.
That's how I felt when in college we went to go to the movie theater on campus to see John Wick, right? The first one.
Uh-huh.
So that's how
Yeah.
long ago it was. It had just gone out theater, so it came to my university. And so we went to go see it and we sat down to watch it. And as the film starts, we see it's not John Wick. In fact, it's a different film. We're like, why are they showing this film? And so one of my friends goes out to ask one of the people, that works there, basically, is like, hey, where's John Wick? They're like, oh, well, we screwed up. So you're not going to watch John Wick. You're going to watch Gone Girl. And said, okay, well, why not? We're already here. Like, we're freshmen in college. Half of us are high. Half of us are like definitely not sober. Why not? Yeah, that was very fun to watch because afterwards, one of my guy friends at the time literally ran out of the theater screaming, I will never let a woman touch me again. Obnoxious. That was so hilarious and absolutely worth it. So, good time. Good time.
I can
But
probably
that's
say.
another shocking film. Gone Girl's another shocking film there in ways.
So I can throw that into the mix of that similar type of film,
Yeah.
I'm just not I don't care much for shock value. I want more action, but or fun or humor. It's just, I mean, there's subtly funny parts just because of how oblivious the rich families are, about everything. But
yeah, no, I completely get that. Ian in the chat earlier said that Lost World is better than 3 in his opinion.
Oh yeah, it's I mean, the baby T-Rex, the 2 T-Rexes. I mean, it's got stuff. I don't know. I like that better, but I mean, it's entertaining.
I want to know why, Ian. Like, I'm not like out here to debate it or anything. I'm just interested as to why you think so, because that's
let me know.
an interesting take. He also said though that he watched Madam Web with a grimace and a poop emoji, which doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I do not plan on watching that in theaters, and I do not even plan on watching it unless it's on streaming and I'm that bored and in the mood to make fun of a film. To be honest,
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched a lot of those Sony movies. Like, I didn't watch Morbius. I haven't seen Venom 2. I didn't watch. So I doubt I'm gonna watch that either. But
you're not missing much. Listen, some people really like Venom 2. I don't get it because the first one was actually decent. Wasn't like amazing, but was decent. The second one was a shit show, in my opinion. But some people just like the chaos, and that's fine. Whatever.
The first one was very entertaining. Like, I was cool. I'm no entertainment,
Yeah.
But
yeah, the second one didn't hold. I don't mean to pause, but I wanted to shout out Joe real quick because he's in a completely different time zone. He's over in that Europe area, the London area.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
But shout out Joe. Thanks for coming in and stopping by. If you guys don't know, Joe does his own podcast. He has a bunch of indie comic creators on. He also talks to other people in the community, kind of like we did before. So be sure to check out Joe if you haven't already, because he is wonderful, such a positive person, and he's great. So check out his stuff.
Gotta love insomnia.
Ian agrees with me. Yep. Yeah. I watched it in theaters. I didn't go in expecting much, and I still barely enjoyed it. It wasn't even like, because I think what's interesting with films like that, and now like Madam Web, and these conversations about, okay, is the movie actually bad? Or is it bad, but it's also enjoyable? Like, people are actually starting, like, I feel like these are conversations that we have in our small groups as friends, but in the general community on social media, you can't have those conversations. It's either the worst or the best, is no middle. But now people are creating this new subcategory for the general public, which I think is actually cool, but it's also like, like, it's been here, guys. That's been a thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever see it, but
listen, if the people promoting it don't even like promoting it, like, that's just that's rough.
Like, what's like the first for that Birds of Prey movie? I don't think that was a great movie, but it's entertaining. It's entertaining enough that I can keep it going in the background if I'm bored. Like, I find the So I don't know. I don't ask for much, so I don't trust Madam to do that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I want the Sony films to succeed, because if they can somehow succeed, then that'll hopefully give them more leverage against Marvel to keep the film, so they can keep their, movie side alive. But when they do stuff like this, I saw somebody point out on the internet, on Twitter, that they were saying, well, Sony might do these films just because they're trying to keep the rights to Spider-Man. As long as they make a film, it doesn't have to be good. And I don't
Right.
know if that is a legality in some contract they have, but I do think it's possible.
I think it's possible. I mean, I know that
So
that's why they like made that Fantastic Four movie in like the 90s or 80s or 90s, you know, and then they didn't even release it, but they had to use the property so they could
yep.
keep the rights.
Yeah, and unfortunately, hearing that, I was like, that makes a lot more sense why this is happening. Because it's like, yeah, why would you spend so much money? And even if it's not the biggest budget on the planet, millions of dollars is a lot of money. All right. Even to corporations, that's still a lot of money. So why would you do it? And that makes perfect, unfortunate sense.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they'll get it together because I would like them to be able to succeed and be able to keep what they have, and not just under that technicality, because they've earned it because they're making great shit. But
Especially because there's a better Madam Web storyline out there that they could go with, you know? Like there's several where she did there's what she did make a team of Spider Women in one, and
Mhm.
I think the new Madam Web is Julia, like
yeah, yeah,
because Madam Web gave her the powers in Spider-Man the Spider-Verse comics. So I mean, there's so there's not an old lady Madam Web. There is a younger Madam Web who also had spider powers. Like that they could have they could have worked with something, but I think they
yeah,
were just getting it out there.
yeah, yeah. I think that's all it was, and it's an unfortunate technicality, and it's unfortunate that that's what this situation is. Doesn't excuse it by any measure. It's just very unfortunate. I think that's kind of where I'm stuck on that.
What
Um,
about movies for you? What you watched lately?
well, before I answer that, Mr. Nick, Zednick,
Oh,
who I call
Eddie.
Zeddy. Again, anytime I see Nick, I'm like, who's this guy? But it's Zeddy. He is just the sweetest guy. He always says this stuff, and I don't know how to respond because I'm like, that's just too nice. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm just gonna collapse. But look, I had this ready, Zeddy. I have my super hat. I traded hats. So welcome, Zeddy. I'm glad to see you as well. Thank you so
I
much.
like the picture from Superman Legacy as well. It was nice to see all of them.
I was underwhelmed by it, but I think that's only because of my bitterness with Supergirl stuff. So it's nothing personal against the Superman film or anything. I'm just a bitter Supergirl fan. It's fine. It's fine. But as for stuff I actually watched my younger brother and I we have a thing where we like to watch raunchy comedies together or like
Mm-hmm.
really silly bad films specifically. He really enjoys them and I enjoy them like half the time. The other half they're not for me, but he likes them so much. I have a great time watching him lose his mind during them.
Yeah.
So we watched No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, that's the one with the boy.
Yeah. Where she so she needs to she's trying to be able to keep the house her mom gave her after her mom passed. And so she needs to have the money for it. And she sees this like ad or something that basically says, hey, date our son and we'll give you a car. Well, she needed a car, so she needed money, but she needed a car so that she could earn the money to get it. That's how it worked. Because she door dashed or something. Fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so I went into it being like, okay, here we go. This could be another over the top, a little too much raunchy comedy for me. Caleb will like it though. I enjoyed Jennifer Lawrence still. Let's try it. Why not? And I was actually really nicely surprised at how well they balanced out the raunchy comedy part, which is like the first third of the film,
Mm-hmm.
and like the rom com stuff kind of in the middle, and then the realistic and well done ending. Like it was actually kind of well written. No offense to people to write raunchy comedies. I was just like, this was actually a story. Like this wasn't just fucking around and
A
a story
concise
just to
beginning,
be
middle, and end.
dumb. Yeah, it was like a legit, like solid story they told beyond just, hey, this was a dumb story. Ha ha, wasn't that funny? There were some underlying overall tones in it that I really liked. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
you got me and my feelings with a dumb shit. What? So
I love a good dumb raunchy comedy.
yeah, but like it, I can't explain it, but they did. I'm having trouble articulating it well, but they just did such a nice job, in my opinion, with um, the actual feelings part of it and what that
Mm-hmm.
looked like, and then how that resulted. Because I'm trying not to spoil it because they definitely, I don't know, it was definitely a more modern way to do it, and I'm very grateful for that. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars on Letterboxd, which I think is pretty good, especially for a raunchy comedy. Like that's a solid rating. So it was really enjoyable. And I rewatched V for Vendetta also while I was sick,
Oh,
while
good
I was
movie.
dying. I think I remember putting on Letterboxd. I was like, this movie's still really relevant. It's still a pretty good movie and holds up in a lot of unfortunate ways, actually, because of how relevant it is to the political climate and things like that, the
Mm-hmm.
everyday climate. However, I probably should have watched it while I was sick because that shit is dark, dude. It is dark as fuck.
Well, I mean,
My God.
he tortures the hell out of her.
Dude, that's the part that fucks me up the most in the movie, but I can't like it, and it doesn't fuck me up in the way that I can't even criticize the writing of that. Like I can't even say like, how dare you write this? This is horrible. It's like this is horrible, and it makes sense this character would do this, and that makes it even more fucked up. And it's this giant spiral. It's just it's well done.
Yeah, I mean, with the letters and all that, like while she's in the prison, like giving her the glimmers of hope. It's a messed up
Frickin-
scenario. It's a good movie though. I enjoy V for Vendetta.
It is
Hugo
that.
Weaving was perfect for that role. It was a good movie.
Yeah, Natalie Portman's great in it. That
Yeah, of
just
course.
fucked me up though, because I'd watched it years ago and I forgotten it. Of course, I watched it this time, and so she was going through it all, and of course I had forgotten completely how it connected that he was the one torturing her. I kind of remembered that he was involved still, but I couldn't picture it. So I was re-going through all this stuff, like, oh my god, this is horrible. Oh my god, oh my god. And then reliving the whole when he tells her, "Oh yeah, by the way, I was the one that tortured your ass forever because it was the only way to teach you this." And
Hmm.
it's just crazy. If anybody hasn't seen V for Vendetta, I recommend it, but you need to like be in a safe mindset to watch it.
Yeah.
Gotta be because
It's kind of the same with the book too, because it doesn't. I mean,
yeah,
it strays away some, but it's. I mean, all the tones are right there.
yeah, no, completely. But it was a good rewatch. And I finally watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. I watched
You
that.
know, I have not watched that, but I really
Dude,
want to. It's just
you
it's
will
hard
love
to
it.
find time away from kids to watch the stuff I want to watch.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
brother's mad at me because I still haven't watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I've had it borrowed from him for over a year now. Like,
Oh Lord. I don't care for I don't plan on watching that. I'm good. But that's just
oh, you don't care for Tarantino?
no. Well, again, I'm not all over like, oh my god, the best male director to somebody. Tarantino is pairing up with the two best male actors, Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio or whoever. And it's gonna be the greatest thing ever. To me, I'm just like another pretentious, very artsy,
Uh,
over my head piece. Which is great for other people again, not for me. But also
oh,
Brad
I
Pitt
love
can kick
Tarantino
ass.
movies.
So not acting wise, Brad Pitt's a great actor and he's shit to
You
his
just don't
face.
like Tarantino's style. Yeah, he and his style is all over everything he makes. So,
Yeah.
you don't like
So,
the style, you're not going to like him. It's like Wes Anderson. If you don't like Wes Anderson, you're not going to like a Wes Anderson movie because
yeah.
every one of his movies have his style, which I love. That's probably my favorite
Right.
style of comedy, Wes Anderson style movies. The awkwardness, I love it.
I've never watched one. I saw the
What?
trailer for the most recent film he did with like that whole like ensemble cast he had of actors like Scarlett Johansson, Butch
Yeah, I
Archibald.
haven't got to watch it yet, but
Yeah, I was like, I had no interest when I saw the trailer. I was like, I don't understand what this is, and not in a fun way. Just say like, I don't get it, so I'll pass.
like you've never watched Tannenbaum or Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou or
Hmm.
oh my god, the Grand Budapest Hotel,
I think I tried that once and I turned it off. But I was
Rushmore.
also
Rushmore
younger.
was one of my favorite movies when I was younger. Rushmore's so good,
Oh,
but
nope, never seen it.
you're missing out on some good stuff there, Lauren.
Neighborhood movie nights. Someday we'll do them, and everybody will be mad at me for not liking their movies. So,
Yeah,
and then I'll be like, "This is the greatest film ever, guys!" And it's The Princess Diaries 2 again, and everyone's like, "Lauren, get over it." But, let's see. I'm gonna check on the chat real quick.
yeah.
Zeddy is talking about Sasha again, of course. As in
Oh.
Sasha. Yep. Supergirl. If it works out, can't be mad. No, you can't. But also, no one paid her. Zeddy, how many times do I have to tell you? Love yourself.
At least the Supergirl movie they're making is Woman of Tomorrow. That was such a good comic. I don't know how they're going to mess up
Don't
the
say
movie.
that. They could mess it up so easily,
That's
Chase.
true. That's
They could
true.
mess
But
it
I
up
mean, it's
so
so good.
easily.
I don't know how they're going to do the time hops, but that's fine. I like. I think it's going to be really good though, because the Supergirl doesn't age in it, but they're going to have several Ruthies, I would imagine.
I just hope it's good. That's all. If I think too hard about it, I stress myself out. So I just want to be good. Just don't let me down, guys, because if James Gunn and Tom King and whoever else is involved in that film mess it up, I'm just gonna be like, why do you hate her still? Why do you hate Supergirl as a character? I don't.
Hey, you know who's not going to be involved in it? Melissa Benoist.
Stop it, Melissa Benoist, and she better cameo. Listen, see, look what you've done. You had to bring this up. Why would you do this to me? Now I can't think, because if she doesn't at least cameo in some way, I'm just going to be mad. Unless it's amazing, then I'll forget about it. That's how good it has to be, though. They have to make me forget about that. I want her to cameo. So it's very high standards, and I hate that for me. Because I'm shooting myself in the foot as a fan, but it's all good. The Punisher is here. Welcome, Eric. Good to see you. This is the hat Eric gave me, in case nobody knows that. The Punisher did give me this hat very kindly.
Nice.
And Kurt is here from Two Geeks Talking. What's up, Kurt? If you guys don't know,
Kurt,
he's been on the channel before with me as well, but he does his own YouTube channel. He's been podcasting for like literally decades. He knows far more than I do. He is a legend. So if you guys haven't already, check him out as well. He's super kind, super wonderful. So be sure to check him out. Good to see you, Kurt. Happy to have you. Zeddy said they better not do the thing in the movie. You both know.
The thing?
Is this what we talked about before, Zeddy? Like personally, like the part that we both are like, that probably wouldn't translate well on film? Is that what you're talking about? And Kurt corrected me. 15 years. You know what? I'm going to round that up to at least 2 decades. That's how hard you are. But 15 hella awesome years, dude. I can't imagine it at all. See, I was thinking of The Thing because I watched that movie too recently, because that's my boyfriend's favorite movie is The Thing.
I love The Thing.
And I don't do horror films, but I was like, do you think I could handle this one? Is there like too many jump scares or anything? He's like, no, I think you can handle it. It's more thriller. I was like, I can do that. And it was solid. I enjoyed it.
I know that you wouldn't have at the time because you were super young, but in the early 2000s, like 2002, 2003, they made a PlayStation 2 game that is the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
The sequel to that. Like you start right there where they're sitting at the fire. Oh man, I loved that game. You had to keep yourself warm through the whole thing. Like,
I'll have to ask Gabriel about that, because he's like, you know, like I'm super into comics obviously and music, but he's super into video games. That's his fucking thing, is games.
Oh yeah.
So he's probably played it. I'll have to re-ask him, because I forget what he said about it, if he's told me about it. So
it's fun. It was hard, but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
That's what she said. Zeddy said yes, the ending in terms of Woman Tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to talk spoilers for the Woman Tomorrow comic, or are there people here that haven't read it? Because if you do not want me to talk spoilers, I will not. If we want to, then I will go into detail about that. But yeah, I think
I would rather not spoil it for people, just in case, because it's such a good story.
Fair, but if everybody's read it, then they know it.
Right.
But
sure.
anyways, and unless somebody tells me they have read it, I'm gonna keep it no spoiler. I think that's fair. I think that ending, in terms of a certain choice that Supergirl makes, I think even though I liked it for the comic, and I didn't disagree with it, I think it would be used against her if she did that with general audiences, if she made that choice and general audiences witnessed it. So I do think that they should change that. Not because I don't like it, but because I'm afraid of how general audiences will use that against her as a character. I mean, she's already got everything against her in DC. You know, people call her a ripoff Superman. She's a woman. I mean, you know, she was in the Flash movie with a different person playing her, and that film didn't do well. So the character's already got a lot against her with general audiences. And then on top of it, the other audiences that do like her character, we know the CW version of her so well. And now we're gonna have to see a different version and hopefully love this one, but she's gonna be very different. So
yeah. I mean, I can see him changing it. I liked that it happened. I liked the ending.
I do too, because that's one thing I like about Supergirl that does differentiate her from Superman and things like that, is that she often doesn't make, certain choices and things like that. But when it's necessary or it feels just, not saying it is just, but feels just, she'll freaking do it. And I'm like, good deal. Like she can walk that gray area. Characters like Superman, they don't often get to walk that gray area, right? And I think that's valid. It makes sense. Same thing with Steve Rogers, right? As Cap, like he doesn't get to walk that gray area.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't get that privilege, and it can suck at times for his character, but he doesn't get it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think she should walk that gray area. I like that she
Yeah.
will kill if she has to. Like
Agreed.
like Wonder Woman, but she's a warrior. But
Yeah.
there's no problem with her killing.
Yeah. Well, now you just revealed what happened in comic, Chase.
I know I did. I realized it when I said it.
Zeddy, have a good night, Zeddy. Thank you so much for hanging out here.
Yeah,
And
thank
if you guys don't know, I think everybody here does, but if you don't, Zeddy does the Vigilante 1989 podcast with our friend Nico, and Mr. Papa Caruso. So if you haven't already, you should check them out, especially if you want more DC talk, because they talk even more DC than we do here. So they'll have plenty here. Yeah, Kurt, you're right. Spoiler alert. Gosh, Chase, we're gonna get your shirt that says
I know. Sorry.
You're the one who said no spoilers.
I know. The moment it slipped out, I know you saw my eyes right when I was like, oh.
You're like, yeah, I get it. I hope she is, Ian. I've heard nothing but good things about her. So I'm hype as hell. Let's see. Eric said no love for Ben Grimm in response to the thing. But Ballyrock said he got off to a rocky start, but the Punisher got done. So
I love Ben Grimm. He's one of my favorite characters. I do not know the guy who's playing him, who got cast as him.
Yeah, I don't either. I have no idea either.
And to be fair, I didn't do any research. I'm just judging from the picture that was released. I was like, I know two of those people.
Yep. Well, I think now's a good time to move into what we love to talk about the most on the channel here. Some indie comics, Kickstarters, all that good stuff. Full disclosure, I have not read a gazillion indie comics as of late, or back to gazillion Kickstarters due to pulling back for my health reasons and also financial reasons. But there are some things I did read. I'm going to let Chase go after me because he's going to have a lot more to say because he's done his homework, unlike me, the last 7 months. But I read Dracula by James Tynion and Martin Simmons on the art, I believe. Honestly, the art really sold it for me. I mean, the writing was still great, but the art that Simmons did really sold the atmosphere of the book. That sounds pretentious, but I don't know how else to describe it.
That's what I've been hearing about it.
Yeah, that art style, it literally sucks you into that world. Like it was the perfect choice, the perfect style chosen for it. So if you haven't picked that up and you like Dracula and you just like that kind of like creepy vampiric atmosphere kind of world, I highly recommend it. Even if it's not like the best thing ever to you, I think you'll still enjoy it. It's worth it. And I read, I've been picking up Deep Cuts. I think that's from Image. It's a series that each issue is a different story. And it's told in like the height of like jazz. So like the 30s, 40s, I believe. I'm a huge fan of music and comics. Particularly ever since I read Ron V's story Blue and Green, taken from the Miles Davis name, of course. And so Deep Cuts is really, really good. There's some issues I like better than others because again, there's standalone stories in each one. But they also get to have like some other, creative teams come on each issue doing it that way. So Deep Cuts, I really, really recommend if you like music and comics and things like that. It's been really fun, and there's really not other comics you can find like that. They're like being currently written at the moment, like monthly getting put out. So it doesn't really have a lot of competition if that's what you like. So, I picked up Swan Songs. I have not read them yet, but I've heard phenomenal things about them. It sounded really cool, so I'm excited to read that. And then the one Kickstarter I can remember that I backed before I stopped doing that was the By the Horns one for the hardcover. I'm
Yeah.
super stoked to get that nice pretty hardcover for By the Horns.
I'm,
Marcus and
I'm still mad at
Jason.
myself for not throwing an extra to get the horn Stein.
You should just message Marcus if he has another one. He'll hook you up, bruh. He's a friend of
Yeah,
the
I know he will.
show. Yeah. Message him. If they have any, he'll get it for you. But yeah, Marcus and Jason, the whole team, they're good friends of the show. And they just write amazing, regardless if we are friends or not. They're so talented. So I'm super
Jason,
duper pumped.
he's going to be. I've already have him penciled in for best new coming artist for this year. He's just showing up with some stuff, doing Spider-Man, and still pumping out By the Horns, and he's just doing so many cover work and stuff. He's getting more known. I have him up there as being a breakout artist of the year. I'm saying it right now.
Hell yeah. I like it. I've been seeing a lot too, just like even on my Twitter feed from him. I'm like, oh shit, he's doing that now. Holy shit, good for him. Like,
I just saw he was doing that one Spider-Man digital comic. The next thing I knew, he was doing covers and actual interior for the regular comic, and good for him.
Yeah,
very
he
talented.
Deserves it. Dude, he deserves that. I love to. That's my favorite thing is seeing indie comic creators get to do even more and more. You know, and of course, breaking into the big two get you to do a little more and hopefully make a little more. So
yeah, get your name known. Yeah, so
absolutely. So that's freaking awesome.
Charge a little bit extra for a sketch now.
Right? The second it's like, all right, bump that price up, and all of a sudden, like, damn. It's like, it's like a glad gone while he was cheap. Good for him making more of a fuck.
So I'm glad you got me that Maria Wolf signature, you know, when you did.
Oh my goodness.
Because hers is going to go up too. She's getting big.
Which one? Maria Wolf? Is that who you said?
Yeah.
Dude, she's so cool, man. I love meeting her here. I'd
love to meet her.
Nice. And when I bought the art prints from her, because I didn't know there was some deal she was running. I just bought the prints. You know, I was like, yeah, well, I want these. She's like, okay, great. And she's like, yep. Yeah, that's one of the ones. Yep. I got that one for you. And she's like, okay, so who do you want a sketch of? I said, what? And she was like, well, you bought this made prints or whatever the deal was. So you pick a sketch who you want me to draw. And that's actually what I have right here. That's the sketch she did. It's I'll take it up.
Well, it's our blue boy.
Color.
Yeah.
Look how good she draws him, though. I'm like, put her on the Kurt book. What the hell? But yeah. So I wanted to catch up on the chat here since I was yakking my mouth off too much. I interviewed his cousin Jerry Carita. Whose cousin? I must have missed it. Sorry, I didn't read this while I was talking. But please tell me, because that sounds really cool. Eric, our punster, made a nice pun here. You can sink your teeth into the Dracula book. You probably could, but you would hurt the book. But like the atmosphere might make you want to. I'm gonna be honest.
Whenever you said that the art in Dracula sucks you in, I was like, "There's a pun there," and I was just waiting for Punisher to jump in.
Yep. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees is a great book. I have not.
I've heard
of that.
Really good things about that.
What is that about?
That's what's Chris over at Lost in Comics talks about that a lot.
Okay.
He really digs that story.
What's that about?
I do not know.
Well, you're not listening to Chris then, Chase.
Usually whenever they start recommending a book, I'll kind of try to tune out when they start explaining it because I don't want it ruined for me. If people like it, I want to. And I got a big family. I'm really good at tuning out.
That's mood. The whole Swan Songs run is incredible. Good. I'm glad to hear that because I've heard nothing but good things. It's literally just in my read pile, so I will get there. It will happen. I don't know when, but it will happen. Eric said, "The devil who wears my face." I haven't heard that either. Where are these cool names for comics coming from all of a sudden?
I've heard of that one too.
For a bit, and people make these cool names. I guess I should just be gone longer because people are getting more creative. That's awesome, though.
This is what I love is that we haven't read any of these, and like, there's people out there pushing them, like because there's so much out there to read. We've read stuff that we love, and there's still more stuff out there. Like,
I know.
Wow, that's why I like indies.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kurt said James Tiny in the fourth. Jerry is the cousin of Jerry Carita. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I've seen. Oh,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead. Sorry. No, you're good.
I was going to ask if you understood that whole Tiny Onion stuff that he announced. Was it 2 days
Oh,
ago? I
he
think it
announced.
maybe the Substack thing. I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, Tiny Onions has Substack. He's had that for a while. I don't know about any new announcement
Yeah, there's
though.
some new announcement for it the other day, and I was like, I don't understand this. But-
I don't know anything about it, but he seems to his even though he hasn't necessarily, I don't think yet create. I mean, he has, I guess, he's done independent comics, but he hasn't like created like a whole like universal connecting world, kind of like Hickman does, Jonathan Hickman.
yeah.
But when I see James Tynion the Fourth like talk about his Tiny Onion stuff, I think it reminds me of Hickman. Like they seem to think kind of similar. Like they're obviously different creatives and their execution's
Hmm.
different, but they seem to think kind of similar in that they're trying to do their own thing and it's got to have all these different levels and things. And I'm like, this is for the really artsy comic people, like the higher level. I feel like I know comics fairly well, and then I see stuff like that, and I'm like, nope, I'm a noob, I guess. Back to RuneScape. I'm a noob.
When you're talking about music and comics, I immediately thought of the part of Loneliest Center of the Earth where it did like the whole cake song.
Yeah, dude, that book is so good. That book is absolutely phenomenal. It's just so good.
Such a talent.
Yeah, 1,000%. Oscar's in the chat. What's up, Oscar? Glad to see you too, dude. So, if you guys don't know Oscar, Oscar has just started. I think last year he started. Correct me if I'm wrong, Oscar, but he started last year doing his own writing, putting it out there, like his own Kickstarters for comics and
Oh,
things like that.
congratulations.
So speaking of indie comics, you guys should check out Oscar because Oscar's stuff. I've backed one of his already, at least, and he's fantastic. He has so many cool ideas. He seems to be really community oriented to get everybody else involved as well. He's awesome. So please check him out if you haven't already. Um, he's doing really great work as well. Um, and Kurt said he didn't get really a chance to ask about Tiny Onion, but he was focused on the Grizzly Cool and Jared. That's fair. That's completely fair.
That's fair.
Absolutely. Priorities. Interviewing
Yeah.
priorities.
Don't want to promote his cousin. Promote himself right now. His cousin's fine.
Yeah, that might be
He's
kind of
doing fine.
douchey. Gonna be like, can we stop talking about my cousin, bruh? Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Ian said traveling to Mars is amazing.
I was
I
going
don't
to
know
talk
that
about.
one either.
I was going to talk about that when it got to me.
Go
Just
for it.
because Chris over and over again talked about how I should read it. And I tried to read it on Hoopla on my phone, but I just cannot get into reading comics on my phone. The series was, I was enjoying it. I only made it like 2.5 in, but I'm going to have to either get a tablet or I'm going to have to find it collected or something. I just couldn't. It's hard for me to get into comics on my, the little phone.
Yeah, I get that. What's Traveling to Mars about? Does anybody know what that's about?
Yeah, I can tell you what it's about. So, like I said, I read the first 2 issues. It's pretty good. So this, there's a space race to be the first people on Mars because whoever lands on Mars can claim it, as their territory. So the U.S. or everyone's trying to get there faster, And a company unaffiliated with any government, a company came up with this plan, and they found a person who was terminally ill. Because the problem is you're not going to make it back. If you go there, you're not going to be able to make it back because they don't have that kind of technology yet. They just want to be the first to Mars. So they find someone who's terminally ill and pretty much pay his whole family so they're good the rest of their lives. And he, one man, ships to Mars, and he has these 2 robots that are with him that he talks to. And it's just him on a ship going to Mars, knowing that he's going to die. And just thinking about his life, everything he would have done differently, and stuff like that.
Sounds like a you story, Chase. That also sounds like something you would write. It sounds like a you story. I like it though. It does sound good.
It is. It's very good. So far, what I read, I know Chris loves it. I think like issue 12 came out recently. I think it's ending soon.
Gotcha. Well, I might have to check that one out too because it does sound good. I like that. Ian said, I'm just happy that we have great Transformers, Thundercats, and Power Rangers comics at the moment. That's my childhood like that. That's awesome. I love that.
I know people were like clamoring to get Thundercats #1, and I didn't, just because like I can only get sucked into so much nostalgia. I already got
Right.
Transformers and Duke and uh, Cobra Commander and there's I can't. I have to look see what the other was. But I got Space Ghost when it's coming out.
Mhm.
But I hope it's really good. I've got several other
Yeah.
Thundercats series. It looks good. But I'm also glad that all these things are coming out too, and a younger audience are getting introduced to them.
Yeah.
Like the Energon universe is a redoing of everything of GI Joe, of Transformers. Is the Thundercats
Mhm.
a redoing as well? Does it start back from the beginning, or is it a retelling, or is it take place
I'd say that's a
like there?
question for Ian. I have no idea.
Well, I hope Ian answers.
He's about to jump through the screen. He got close when you said that. I was like, I hope you do.
Oh, sorry. So anyway, I jumped in the middle of your segment. Any other indies?
No,
Is there stuff
you're
out?
good. No, I'm good on mine. I just wanted to. Well, Ian is hopefully answering your question. If not, I'm gonna laugh. But Kurt said horror show from Michael S. Katz and art by Daryl Banks, DC Comics Green Lantern Man, versus Wendigo. I've not heard of that. That sounds fun
Huh.
though.
Yeah.
Sounds like a cult classic or something.
When I think of Wendigo, I always think of what I think it was in Earth X or Universe X. Have you ever read those?
Hmm.
There's like an army of Wendigos, and you find out it's because Wendigo killed Jamie Madrox, so Jamie Madrox became a Wendigo.
Ah, okay.
So it was pretty cool. Anyway, okay, so
Go for
trying
it.
to get. Okay, so I just want to immediately say I haven't read it yet. I don't get it till next week, but number 30 of Firepower came out, and it's been very, very good. I don't know. Have you been reading it at all? Have you
No,
followed
I have
Firepower?
not been reading it.
Art, fantastic. Chris Samney is so good in it.
Mhm.
I think Russ Wooten was letters. Let me look. I know I wrote it down. Yeah, and then Matt Wilson was the colors on it. Robert Kirk. It's pretty much Robert Kirkman's Iron Fist story. If
Mm,
you were to just redo Iron Fist, that's pretty much what he did here,
mm.
and it's very good. But make it more family oriented. Um, I can't say how excited I am to read the final issue, and it sucks that it's over because it has been in my pool for like 3 years now, and it's and it's gone.
It's
What
heartbreaking when that
else?
happens. Like when you
I
have
know,
a book for so long and you're pulling it and you're just like, this is the end of an era. Like,
right? It's like whenever Invincible finally ended, and I was like, oh, like this is the
yeah.
last one I'm gonna buy. It's crazy.
Mhm.
Um, or Starman. Starman ended, but you wouldn't know about that, Lauren. Uh,
Listen, I'm trying.
so let me go over a couple more indies. Rumpus Room. I don't know if anybody read that. Rumpus Room just ended. It was written by Mark Russell.
I like
Yep.
Mark Russell.
Yeah, it was out there. It was pretty wild. I don't
That
want to
sounds
say
like
too
Mark
much.
Russell.
Don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to ruin anything. But it's probably not what you think it is. It's out there. Um, let's see. Oh, obviously, if you want to go indies, you can never go wrong with. I think Dark Horse puts out some great stuff right now. From Dark Horse, I'm only getting the Usagi Yojimbo, and Space Usagi. And Stan Sakai and his family put out their own company now called Dogu.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was. It definitely had some twists and turns in it. Where so they're putting out more Usagi titles through Dogu, which is really
Mhm.
cool. As far as Kickstarters go, I am in the search for a couple Kickstarters to follow this year.
That's
Couple
dangerous to say, Chase. Dangerous.
last two
Everybody, you heard it here. Send
last two
Chase
of
all your Kickstarters
last two
immediately.
I backed didn't get funded, so I have two that I'm definitely going to get. It might get more than that, but I try to get 5 to 8 Kickstarters a year.
Mhm.
And I just haven't been lucky enough for them to be funded so far this year. So it's got to be
Yeah.
something that I'm actually interested in for me to back it. I mean, I don't, not made of money, but yeah, people send me some of your Kickstarters if you want. I will take a look.
Kickstarter
Let's-
Chase. Send him his way. That's Kickstarter Chase. Oh, wait, hold on. Before you move on, Kurt has a question regarding that. What's your wheelhouse? What do you like?
oh, okay. Well, I like tons of things. I really obviously like superhero stuff. I don't like overtly raunchy stuff in comics, so a lot of Kickstarters are that, so I veer away from a lot of those. I like noir type stories. I like adventures, epic adventure tales, like of, not even people. They can be like animals. I don't care as long as it's fun. um,
Yeah.
and I like a real interesting art style too. If there's something that somebody just does, like what I picked up that Ex Machina Christmas thing just because Lane Lloyd's art in it, and I
Yeah.
just,
Lane Lloyd.
it was
Very unique.
fun, and so it's just something that'll catch my eye. I don't like. I'm not huge in romance stories, but I mean, I could always find one interesting. It just got to be the right one. I'll do a good space tale here and there, but that usually falls into epic adventure type stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe that falls into any comments you're making. Send them my way, and I'll take a look.
Yeah.
For
Bally
sure.
Rock is going to send you one about Impossible Jones.
Okay, I trust Bally Rock.
You got one. You got one. Ian answered your question earlier regarding Thundercats, and
go on.
the wrong one, and said it's a retelling of the story.
Oh, okay, cool. I can get in on that. You could use a good retelling.
Kurt asked, "How about Division 5?" I don't know.
I'll write it down.
He'll look it up. I promise you, Chase will look it up too. He is not one to write stuff down and then not look. Comics Kickstarters are serious. He's 1,000%. That's why you're Kickstarter Chase now. So it's official on my part.
But I'll say the last Kickstarter that I'm waiting to get in, other than the By the Horns one, of course, I've got Magic Powder #4.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that too. I've backed every
shipping. We got it digitally, but I'm not going to read it digitally. I'm going to wait till I get the physical.
No.
But I love Magic Powder. I'm surprised once he finishes that, he should really offer it to Ahoy or something. Like I'm surprised. The art style is so good. The story's good. I feel like that should be on store shelves. Magic Powder is very good.
Yeah, shout out to Jeff Schiller. He's been on the show before. He's fantastic. I think we've had him on every single time he's done a campaign for Magic Powder because we both.
Oh, really?
I think so. I don't think I've ever missed him for that until recently, obviously.
Yeah. What else I would say? Spill Blood by Jonathan Hedrick is printing. It's becoming soon. I'm pretty excited about that one too.
I love Jonathan. I love his work. He's a really cool dude. I think I've met him twice now at cons. Sweetest dude, super great, writes great stuff.
Love it. Love when creators are good people. Makes you want to back them more,
It does 1,000%. I'm like, I know you're super nice, or at least, to the best of my knowledge, I know that. So here you go, more money.
Right. It means a lot to be personable to a comic fan.
Yeah.
I think meeting people at cons is that's why they do it all the time, because I think it really makes or breaks some of their careers. Just people getting to see them, talk to them, and back them that way. Sorry about that burp.
Speaking of which, Chase, when are you coming to Heroes Con this year? You're coming this year, right?
I do plan on it.
Yes.
I actually do plan on it. I know last year it fell apart, but is it in May or July?
June. It's
June.
actually this might kill it for you. You have kids, so I don't know, but it's Father's Day weekend.
Oh, well, good. They'll let me go.
That's what I keep hearing. I'm like, oh man, these dads might spend their kids, and everybody I've thought would say that to, they're like, oh fuck no. No, it's my weekend. The kids can stay home. I love them, but no, I'm going. I'm out.
Oh no, my wife and kids will probably end up coming too, but they would she would probably go to the convention like one of the days. Yeah. And then you'd probably never see her again.
Hey, once is good. I get it.
Yeah. It's a city, they'll go to like museums and stuff, there.
Yeah, y'all plan to do in Charlotte. Yeah, that's not a problem.
What else was it? But I do plan on going, and I want to so bad. So
we're gonna make it happen.
I have one more thing. I guess I can talk about Image because Image is great. The Energon universe, obviously. New Burn. I feel like it's coming to an end. I don't know if it is, but the way the story is progressing seems like the end's coming soon. I love New Burn. That's Zdarsky.
Mhm.
and Jacob Phillips, who was also Einfield Gang. Jacob Phillips, Chris
Mhm.
Condon, very good. Um, I'm enjoying the Massive Verse, Radiant Black, Rogue Sun, Dead Lucky, all them. Great stuff. I have not read No One, so I can't talk on that, but I know
Right.
people do like it.
Mhm.
And other than that, I'm excited about Ghost Machine. Uh, I have the number one right here.
Fancy.
It's been
Shiny.
building up through Geiger, Junkyard Joe, Redcoat, um, all these this Jeff Johns stories. He had something in the I would find some Image 30th anniversary. He had a story called The Blizzard. That's all part of it too.
Mhm.
But I'm mostly excited because he's created his own company, Ghost Machine. It's got him, Jeff John. These are just some of the names: Gary Frank, Peter J. Tomasi, Brian Hitch, Jason Fabic, Francis Manipal, Brad Metzer. Like that's just a
That's a
couple of the
lot.
names of some of the talent that's going to be making stories for Ghost Machine. So I'm very excited about that. That's
Hell
just
yeah.
really talented people.
Hell
And
yeah.
I think that's it on my indie stuff right now. I'm sure there's other stuff out
Nice.
there. I'm just can't
Oh,
recall.
there's always more, but that's the thing. We can't ever read it all, and I think it's not fair to expect people to be like, "Oh, but you haven't read this indie comic. That means you don't care about them." Like, we're all just doing what we can. The same as the creators are, it's not fair
Right.
to give creators grace, which they deserve, and then not also give readers some grace. Readers
Of
deserve grace
course.
too. So,
And
um
that's why we shout them out at least if we see them.
hell yeah. Ian said Ghost Machine was a bit meh, a couple good stories, but the others I
The
didn't.
others I didn't. Well, you get that with those anthologies when they're just
Yeah.
trying to hook people. There's always something in there that's just not for everybody. And I get that, and I imagine
Yeah.
that out of all those names I said, there's going to be some that fail. But as a whole, I like all the build up to it so far. So we'll see how it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
But if it's a
Anthologies are hit
stinker
or
within the
miss.
first three, I'll probably stop
Mhm.
picking it up, like I did. As bad as I'm going to say, because I think they're killing it right now. I was like Outsiders with DC. I wasn't
Mhm.
feeling it, and I dropped it. But I gave it a good
Yeah.
solid 3. I wanted to like it.
Yeah. Yep, I hear
Um,
that. Ian earlier said Somna is a raunchy comic and I love it. Have you guys read any of the
Distillery
DSTLRY
books.
books? No.
Um,
And the emoji you put with it makes me think I should not. I'm like, I don't
I
know if
have
I want
not,
to trust that, Ian.
but I do know that they've been doing well. I know the comic stores around here only buy what they have on pull. They don't get anything for extra for other people walking in for something like that. They would like the big two, but so I saw them, but I have not picked anything up.
Yeah, I get that completely. Ballyrock said he likes what Ghost Machine represents. That's fair.
Excellent.
That's valid. Eric, the Punisher said, I usually pick and choose, but I love how y'all give me Rex for stuff to read. Yeah, we gotta get back on that, but Chase has got most of the Rex lately. So I just
um,
read a few things to be honest.
it's so hard to read everything. Like it's just so hard, and it's impossible to me. Like and have a life, you know. And
I mean it is. It just it really is. There was a point in my life where comics were my life.
well,
Like
that's
when
the
I
thing.
started
If it is
podcasting.
your life, especially if you're getting paid to talk about and stuff, then yeah, read as much as you can. Right now, it's just casual. As fans, we just read whatever we can when we can.
Yep.
Uh, and if people have a proper thing to read digitally, I mean, I know that the DC app is great right now. I know people complain about the Marvel app, but also there's that Omnibus app. But
Too many
I
damn
just have a
apps. Just
problem.
put it all in one. Like guys,
I
come
have a
on, teamwork.
problem buying digital. If I don't have, it's the old man in me, I guess. But like,
Well,
I gotta have physical.
if you give the DC and Marvel apps, you're not buying the comic. You're paying for the service to read wherever you want,
Right.
kind of like a
But
library.
Omnibus is buying the comic,
Yeah,
the digital version of it. Yeah. But
yeah,
like everything's out there, so
yeah.
it's a
I don't
good
care for that
source.
either. I don't mind reading like because I have the DC and the Marvel Unlimited app still because I did the yearly.
Mhm.
And I like them. I don't have any issues with them. It is nicer that DC lets you read a comic after 30 days. It's out. Marvel. It's 6 months or whenever they fucking decide to do it. Sometimes they're like, oh, it's been a month. Here you go. And you're like, oh my God, are they going to start doing this all the time? And they're like, no, we just did this because we wanted to.
I'll just send you a picture of the digital download whenever I get a DC or a Marvel comic, and you can just do it that way. I don't ever do the digital things.
Nah, I forget to do digital, to be honest, because I have on my phone, and I actually don't hate reading them on my phone all the time. It's not my favorite way still. My favorite is still in my hand. But it is kind of cool on digital sometimes because if there's like an action sequence and people are moving between each panel and you click through it on digital, you can actually see the movement because of the swiping you do. And it's very cool. You don't get that once in your hands. But that's about it. Yeah, you just go boop and you're like, oh my God, it moved. You're like, it's like a movie, guys. This is amazing. And then you remember, oh yeah, this is how they made movies back in the day. Crazy, right? Yeah, it's pretty cool. Kurt said comics is life. Agreed. Movies, TV is life. Correct. I think that's a great point to switch to the next thing we're going to talk about. We got a couple more things. I know we're probably going to run a bit longer, so if you guys need to go whenever, please feel free. Don't feel guilty, because we're just talking and catching up on a million things. But we're going to talk TV shows next, and then we'll talk a little bit about video games, and then we're going to end the show tonight talking Marvel and DC comics and anything about film and TV we want to with them. So that way you kind of know the flow of the show, guys. But let's talk TV shows. There hasn't been a million things for me to watch, to be honest, I feel like, or that I've wanted to watch. But we all know that X-Men 97, the animated one, is coming soon. So I'm not as excited about that as I thought I would be, but I'm still excited. It's X-Men. I want to hand it over. I love that.
I'm not excited at all.
How do you have a Cyclops visor and a Magneto helmet? That's just not fair.
I have you know what? I can put one visor on with the helmet.
You can? And your glasses?
Oh, the glasses have got to go. Hold on.
You don't need to see. You have the visor now.
Exactly. This visor.
Cyclops Magneto. I like that, actually. That's amazing.
It holds it so well, like it's like made for it.
I think that has to work. Punisher says, "Where are the Wolverine claws?" That's a great point.
In the other room. My son got them for Christmas, so we do have those as well.
Hell yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing. I love that. Well, yeah, I'm excited for X-Men 97. One thing I am interested to see that somebody else pointed out on Twitter. I remember who, but they mentioned how because I'm a Nightcrawler stan, as we all know. But they mentioned how, in X-Men Blue Origins, which, that's a comic I didn't talk about that I read. Of course, I read that.
I
talked about it on the Simply Amazing podcast I do with Lisa, which is a lot of fun. But in X-Men Blue, they retconned the former history of Kurt Nightcrawler's parentage, and they, in my opinion, corrected it. Other people may not see it that way. I do not care.
It's hard to call it a retcon, just in the sense that they've changed his origin many times over, and it was the original concept for the origin. It was what Claremont wanted to do.
Yes, but it's still not the original concept Claremont wanted, because he would have executed it differently. The execution is still different,
right?
But it is a retcon. But you're right. Like, they basically, the general thing they did was what the original writer intended but couldn't do in the 80s, because everybody was like, absolutely not. But I'm super stoked. So the point with that, though, with the animated show 97, people were saying, are they going to do that in this show? Are they going to update his parentage to reflect in this animated series as well? Because even though he's not a main character, he's set to appear. Or are they just going to try to be like, nothing about it? So I'm interested to see if they're going to do anything with that.
Yeah, I mean, since he's already been introduced in the show in the past, and it's a continuation. I don't know if they would, if they're going to change it or just leave it exactly how it was.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, because they did already do his origin in one of the episodes.
Right.
So It just depends on if they are taking up right where it left off or if they're going to do some liberties. I mean, obviously they already changed Morph into what Morph is now, like as a character, the way he just white face and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe, but it might just be because Morph was created for the show. So now they're just trying to make him more of the comic Morph. So he
Yeah.
has more of a personality.
Sure.
But I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, Kurt said he's got to get going. Congrats, welcome back. And we have to do a Cross Connect show sometime in 2024. Yes, absolutely.
Love
Would
it.
love to have you on. Full disclosure, we don't have any set schedule yet. We'll talk about more at the end of the show. This is just our first getting our feet wet again. But thanks for coming on here, Kurt, taking your time. I know you're super busy. So I really appreciate it. It means a lot.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate it.
But yeah, I agree. I don't know. I think it's a reach as much as I wish it wasn't. I think it is a reach, but we'll see. I don't know. That's all I really care about other than having fun with the X-Men. So
what I'm which I think, I mean, in my head it's obvious, but I don't know if it is. I think Madeline Pryor is the pregnant
that's
Jean
true.
that you see.
That's what I was
They've
thinking
already,
too. That I
well,
was
they've already
thinking
shown that they already shown that Cable's going to be in the show because they've already released what he looks like. So in my head, that's got to be Madeline Pryor, and then they're going to bring Jean back again. But if that's the case, are they going to do the whole Asani-san, like Jean and Cyclops raising Cable in the future
right
story? Because that'd be pretty cool.
If Cable's gonna be there and they're doing the whole pregnancy thing, I would think they would do that. Otherwise, what's the point? Just skip to adult Cable. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So that would be cool.
But technically Cable's already been in the show before and they've already fought Apocalypse. I don't know. I don't want to get too hard into it, but it's just a cartoon. But I think that's Madeline Pryor. I really do think that's Madeline Pryor. I saw that Pyro is going to be in it, so that's pretty cool. And like just more of the actual characters now that they can actually put them in there and they don't have to sneak them in like they did back in the day.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just excited. I just hope it's fun. I don't want to overthink it. I just want to have fun with it. I do think they are gonna have to take some liberties, though.
Yeah,
I don't know how far they will go with them or will need to, but I think again, whenever you do something like this, basically a relaunch, a decade or two later, you kind of have to. There are gonna be a couple things you have to tweak at least, even if they're smaller. There's gonna be something. So.
But I am excited for it.
Me too.
I know that you are excited for the new season of Harley Quinn.
I'm actually not excited. Excited is not the word I'd use. I'm not not going to try to watch it. But the last season was not it. And
I didn't finish the last season yet. I'm about halfway through it.
It wasn't it. And when I found out that they got a whole new showrunner and a new writer's room, I was like, that's why.
Well, I know that you loved the comic series that was supposed to bridge the gap, right?
I did. But they had a third, maybe a second or a third Harley Quinn animated series. And I didn't care for that one as much either. The book, the comic. I didn't care for that one as much. But they also changed the art style a lot on that one. And that kind of killed it for me. But yeah, I did not care for the last season of Harley Quinn. My hope is that this season they kind of figure it out more in the writer's room and they make it better. Because here's the thing, every show's allowed to have a season you don't care for as much or you think's a dip, right? You have to, especially if a show's going to go on for a very long time, like you're hoping like over 5 seasons, you have to allow it to have a wonky season to get their shit together. It's how it goes. So I'm not like, oh my God, it's never going to be good again. But I am like, the last season was not good. I have no desire to watch it again. There might be little parts, but the other seasons were much better for sure.
In terms of more animated, I am excited for Invincible to come back next month.
Yes,
I really
some good things.
Great stuff. It's been very, very good. They do take little changes here and there from the comic, which is perfectly fine with me. I don't expect anything to be copy and pasted. But I do hate as long hiatus as this has been in season 2 because I think the last episode was like in October or November, And then they said they were waiting for the holiday season to finish where they dropped the rest of them, and it's been over. Why are you waiting until March? Like, you could have dropped them January or February. They said that the writer's strike had nothing to do with any of it. They were just having a break for the holidays. So
yeah.
I hate that you're making me wait this long, but it's been good. It's been real good. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, one of my brothers, he started watching the show and he randomly asked me one day, he's like, "Have you read or watched Invincible?" I said, "No." He's like, "Well, I started watching the show and I really like it." I said, "So you could pick up the comic?" He's like, "No, but the show's really good." I was like, "At least you're watching it and enjoying it."
Yeah.
So that's more than me.
Pick up the comic though. Comic's great. It's it's not even from that long ago, but some things are dated in it, which is weird for me to go back and read and realize, like,
Yeah.
just how things get dated so quickly.
Yeah.
In the zeitgeist.
I agree. Eric said the only episode that stood out for the last season of Harley Quinn was the Bane pasta maker episode. That's true. I forgot. That was a fun episode. It still wasn't the best, but it was still fun because I love Bane. That was another problem last season. They had hardly any Bane except for that episode. And I was like, why would you do that? He's one of the best characters on the show. I can't. Like,
I was looking for my. I lost my pencil. Oh, there it is. I do love Bane in the show. And I forget who does his voice. What did I write down?
I forget, but I enjoy him too. And I'm with Eric here. Expand to Harleyverse. They should make a Supergirl animated show with the Supergirl from the Harleyverse. Absolutely. And they should make like 20 other shows within it. But I want that one the most. Hand it over.
I like Gordon in it's pretty funny. And
that man will piss me off though. He's the kind of guy that I'm like, literally get your shit together. You're gonna cry about everything and literally do nothing to make anything better. Everything you do makes your own life worse, and then you complain. I can't with you, dude.
You're sad sack, man.
Literally just don't get me, man. I can't. Eric said, make a Supergirl Huntress show in the Hollywood. I'm here for it. Let's do it. Sold. WBD, you don't deserve them. We will take over for you. Sounds great. We're here to hop on it. You mentioned Melissa Benoist earlier. She is going to be in a show called Girls on the Bus, which is going to be on Max. I think it's in March. And I'm really excited for it. The trailer looked good. It looks like it's kind of like a kind of journalist, political drama, comedy type thing. It looks really good. Her acting in the trailer already looks hilarious and fantastic. So I'm stoked. So I will be there. Whoever the character she's playing is will become my new Supergirl until Women Tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. That's exactly what's happening.
I have not seen anything about that show. But
you should check it out. The trailer, I can send it to you. It looks fun. We'll see. I'm interested to see if it will be a balance of drama and comedy, kind of like the trailer is, or if it's going to be too much into drama and like only a little comedy. I'm interested to see how it'll actually balance out, because trailers can be misleading. You're like, this will have the perfect balance, and you're like, oh, this is all of the thing I wanted less of, and less of the thing I wanted more of. That's something.
You know what? A show balanced comedy and drama really well. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. Was Netflix show. Hold on, I wish I would have wrote it down. I didn't know I was going to talk about it. Dead to Me. Have you ever seen that?
I've heard of it. I have not watched it.
With Linda Cardellini, and Christina Applegate, and James Marsden.
Yeah,
it is funny. It's good. I mean, it's very dramatic at times. It's pretty serious what the show's about, but it's funny. James Marsden plays two characters in it, and he is easily like the worst character and like the best person in the world.
Like, for him.
He cracks me up.
That just sounds like his acting in general. He can play the worst character, be really good at it, but you'll hate him. But he also be the best character, and you'll love him.
And I'm a James Marsden fan. Did you ever watch the remake of Death at a Funeral?
If I did, I forgot it. I only know one I remember the most is the original, the British version.
Okay, you know Alan Tudyk in that one where he's tripping on mushrooms. That's the character James Marsden played.
Yep, I remember.
James Marsden plays that character.
Oh, he played that dude. That's
hey, what's funny is it's almost beat for beat the same movie, to the point that the boyfriend is played by why can't I forget his name? Peter Dinklage is the same character in both movies.
Yeah.
He plays
Yep,
the
I do
same
remember
guy
we kept him.
in both,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah. That specific part of the movie, that's the best part of the whole movie. It takes forever to get there, but if you wait it out, it is so worth it. So worth it.
But yeah, James Wars is good. But that to me was one of those movies that shows that I thought was going to be super dramatic, but it was actually a lot funnier than I thought.
Nice. Nice. I'll have to go check it out.
Plus Linda Cardellini, one of my crushes since I was a kid. You know,
Yeah. Can't go
cool
wrong.
with that. Lucky Hawkeye. Well, that'll get to a show I actually watch. So I've been obsessed with Taskmaster on. We can only get it on YouTube over here. It's a BBC show.
Oh,
And it's just like it's like a comic panel type show where they do tasks for the actor Greg Davies, who's the Taskmaster, who gives them points. That's literally all it is. But it's 16 seasons of it so far, and then there's 2 Australia versions and 1 New Zealand version. And I cannot get enough of Taskmaster. It's so funny, man. Like the tasks they do are just outrageous. They're just so stupid, and they just have no problem making fun of each other. It's I can't explain it. You just got to watch it. It's just turn your brain off and just laugh at something for a bit. Like it's just a panel of comedians doing stupid tasks, just outrageous tasks, and getting judged for it. It's good.
I love it.
I can't get enough of it.
Sometimes you just need dumb shit like that. That's why they make that stuff, because sometimes you just need it. So
and my brain has been so like you know me, when I get focused on something, that's all I can think about. So I've just been all I've been focusing on is that story that I was writing. So having something that's just nonsense to watch is exactly what I need. Like I don't need to think too much. So it's been that's pretty much all I've been watching. Other than that, it's cartoons with the kids, or my wife's always watching Seinfeld or Friends, so I watch that a lot too.
Yep, Friends is something I grew up with. I watch it a lot. Seinfeld I can never get into, but Friends I still really enjoy every now and then to just plug it on.
I enjoy Friends a lot. Seinfeld's hilarious. I didn't get into it till college. My roommate loved it, and he had the DVD box sets. But it is really good. So I can't deny it. It's good.
Nice. Yeah, if you guys are still in the live chat, I know we've been going a while, but let us know what you guys have been watching, if you've been watching any TV. Yeah, I've been watching.
Wait, you know what? I want to throw one more thing out there. Since I already doomed myself with asking for Kickstarters, I would doom myself again and say, if anybody has any animes out there that they think I should watch.
Oh man, no, that's worse. You're gonna ask for animes, dude. Your inbox is flooded. It's over. Straight up, dude.
It's been a while since I got into any animes, and
I'm gonna tweet that out and be like,
scrolling
your animes.
Scrolling, looking at them, and I was like, "There's just too many for me to decide what to watch." Like, I've had a lot of people tell me to watch One Piece, but there's like 600 episodes. Like, I don't want to watch that shit. And then like one person will recommend something, then immediately somebody else will be like, "No, that's shit." Like, there's so many opinions in anime.
Dude, it's a whole other fandom. I don't fuck with it. Like, I can sit and watch an anime every once in a while with people. I have no problem with that. But when people shove shit in my face with anime, I'm like, nope, absolutely not. Maybe this could have been my new favorite thing, but you shoved it in my face.
Yeah, you ruined it
anymore.
You ruined it.
Nope, it's not nice anymore. Yeah.
So my inbox is going to be filled with stuff. Kickstarters and animes.
I'm excited to see what you get and how traumatized you are afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, but I like roll the dice. I like see what people recommend to me, because it's been a while since I really got into an anime. So when I was into anime, it wasn't cool. When I was into anime, you get made fun of for watching it. So it's interesting that it's so popular now. So I'd like to kind of jump back into it, but we'll see.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you can jump into it so much as get like shoved in.
Yeah. Just held my head under for a bit. I'll get waterboarded by anime.
I think that's what has to happen. But I think you can handle it. I think you'll be fine. I wouldn't, but I think you would be.
I thought about watching, even though I don't know if it's considered anime or not, watching Last Airbender just because the live action's coming out. And I don't know if I should watch the show before I watch the live action one, because the live action looks cool.
So you should not watch the live action from what I've heard.
Oh, really?
Or the show at least. You have to watch the animated show first, please. Because okay, listen, I don't talk about like how much respect I have for that show a lot because like it's not my biggest fandom. I really respect the hell out of the show. Avatar: Last Airbender is a very phenomenal show. It deserves all the praise it gets. Please watch that before you even attempt the live action one. From what I hear, please, God.
I have one of my friends who loves Legend of Korra, so he was telling me that if I
Yeah.
watch Avatar, I need to watch that too.
Yep.
But
Well, that's after. Avatar's better. No offense to Legend of Korra fans. There's stuff I like about Legend of Korra. It's not bad, but Avatar: Last Airbender is better.
everyone just tells me the animation style in Legend of Korra is really good. Apparently,
Yes. Yeah, it is. Tate is in the chat. Hi, Tate. Welcome, welcome. And says the animated show is good. Yeah, it is. It's very, very good. Bally Rock says he sent you an anime recommendation and he's asked if you've
excellent.
seen the original Cowboy Bebop.
Oh,
Have
of
you seen it?
course, of course.
I was gonna be like, I don't know what we're gonna do if
Space
Tate says
Cowboy.
no.
You don't know how much I love funk and hot bass lines? You think I haven't watched Cowboy Bebop?
Oh my gosh, too much, too much. Well, I
No, I
have,
love Cowboy Bebop. I did not watch the live action of that just because of how much I love Cowboy Bebop. I couldn't bring myself to watch it.
yeah.
Maybe one day on that. I love, Cowboy Bebop's great.
Yeah, my boyfriend just got that on Blu-ray. We were at Target. He's like, "Should I get this?" And I was like, "Well, do you want it?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Are you going to watch it if you buy it?" He's like, "Yes." I said, "Then buy it." What the
Yeah.
hell?
Of course.
Buy it, babe. Even if it's not for me, I don't care. Do what you want. So he got it. So he was very happy.
One of my favorite movies of all time is Akira. I watch Akira several times a year, and I've always wanted to eventually get those comics. So that's going to be something that I'm going to look into eventually, is get the Akira comics.
Yep. Yeah.
I know they have a huge set, but I'm sure that's very expensive.
Probably. Well, away from anime, so Chase is gonna start a new sub show on the channel called Anime with Chase. We're branching out. The nerdy neighborhood is not just comics. That will be coming soon. Hosted
Oh
by
God.
Chase. But
Is this gonna be me reading all the emails of people yelling at me for not choosing?
that would be worth it. That'd be like when celebrities like read mean tweets or something on Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel or whatever. Yeah. Just like read nasty emails being like, what the fuck? You have this opinion about anime? You're just wrong, dude. What the hell's wrong with you? But yeah, I have not been watching anime because it's not usually my thing. There's some I'll watch, but I watch a lot of wrestling now, specifically WWE. I'm not a cool kid that's like, I watch all the brands or this brand's better than WWE.
Mhm.
I just watch WWE because it's fun and it's pretty good right now. It's great. Tomorrow morning they do the Elimination Chamber PLE, the big event.
Mhm.
So I'm really excited to watch that. I love the Elimination Chamber matches because they have the big chamber and it's in Australia this year. So they had to ship it there. And apparently, I don't know how true this is, of course, but they're reporting that when they tried to ship the chamber to Australia from the States, that real life pirates tried to like steal it. So then they had to like go around a whole way just to get it to Australia or
I
something.
hope that did happen. And I hope they do steal it, and then you get we start getting like these weird signals of like some pirate WrestleMania happening. They're fighting on their own cages. That'd be great.
Listen, they could find a way to work it in storyline wise. They can work anything in. They can figure it out. But but no, the chamber made it. They were putting it up and everything, so it made it safely somehow. But whatever. But it's a great time. I'm excited. They did the press event last night. I watched it this morning because I was old and went to bed early last night, and it was just fun. I even love the press events because they just talk shit to each other. That's the whole point of it, is to talk shit, and it's so great.
I used to. I mean, when I was younger, I watched wrestling like crazy. And then grew out of it for a bit, but I'm just gradually going back into it. I don't sit down and really watch it anymore. But like it's all over my YouTube, it's all over my TikTok. And like I said earlier to you, now that it's going to be on Netflix, I'm probably going to watch it a little bit more often because it's just right there.
Yeah,
and I feel like I feel like my 9-year-old is ripe of age to really start getting into it. So
Yes. Hell
let's see.
yeah. They're gonna start trying to do like RKOs on you and shit. You're gonna
Oh
be like,
yeah, that's what
really?
I'm expecting.
Oh no, but it's perfect. That's what they should do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or they're going to break so many beds.
Yep. Absolutely.
When I was younger, my parents
Couches,
bought us a
tables.
trampoline so we would stop doing wrestling moves around the house.
That's actually genius. You'll still get hella injured, but it's genius.
Well, we used to climb the tree and get on our roof, and then we would do like moonsaults off of our roof onto the trampoline and stuff like that. Like we weren't
Dude,
safe about it. It was
I'm so
fun, man.
excited. I hope tomorrow the chamber that we see some people do moonsaults off like the top of a chamber and into the
I
ring.
saw, like I said, on TikTok or whatever, a cage match where Io Sky put a trash can on her and she jumped off with a
Dude,
trash.
that was last year. I watched that, dude. That match was fucking
Oh, awesome, man!
she goes to the top of the steel cage and then she throws like a rope down and I think it was Dakota Kai who was outside the ring because she was injured so she couldn't compete, but she was standing around, you know, fucking around and shit, and she literally ties a trash can to the rope and then Io Sky pulls it up to herself. Then she puts it over her head. And I'm here like, what the fuck, bitch? And then she just jumps down on like 5 other women. It was absolutely craziness.
But it was like a cutesy jump. She puts on her hands, like flaps her hands, like
Yeah, she's like, here we go. And you're like, what?
Yeah, it was amazing. I like I said, I'm all about the clips. Like anything I know about wrestling right now is strictly because of.
We gotta get you back into it. It's so fun.
I mean, I love gymnastics, and wrestling is just angry gymnastics.
It is. No, you're right. Listen,
and I love it. Like,
there's so much going on in wrestling right now. Like The Rock is back and he's a heel and he's
I
like
know,
the
I saw
worst shit
that.
talker.
Yeah.
Every single time he is on SmackDown, which he'll be again next Friday, he'll be on SmackDown as they're saying. He tests the PG ring. I swear to God, because
I saw him smack Cody Rhodes. I saw that clip.
Yeah, that was that press event. Yeah, but no, like then like that Friday SmackDown that he was on, he was going like full heel, which was great, doing his little promo. But he looked at, like he said multiple things that were like really pushing that PG ring because they're not TV 14 right now. They're PG WWE, okay, Raw and SmackDown. But this guy, freaking Rock, looks at this person in the audience at one point and goes, "Shut up, fatty, before I slap the herpes off your face." And I'm like, oh my God, that is not PG. They need to fix that. Because like if the Rock's going heel.
I always loved heel Rock. Back in the day, whenever
so good.
Whenever he was in the Nation of Domination, the day that he took over is one of my favorite things in wrestling. He got all the Nation presents, and they're like Rolexes, you know. Mm-hmm. The Rolex wouldn't fit on Mark Henry's wrist because he's so big. Yeah. But he got Farouk this big thing, and he opens it up, and it's a painted portrait of The Rock. Mm-hmm. And then he smashes it over Farouk's head and takes over the Nation. And I loved it. It's so good. I love heel Rock. So
he's back, man. And listen, where a lot of us are expecting him to, because he's aligned with Roman Reigns in the bloodline now, and
they are family.
Yeah, right. That's the whole point. But we're all thinking that he's going to turn on Roman because when he was talking supposedly about Cody Rhodes and the fact that he's going to make him lose at WrestleMania, but when he pointed, as he said, "I'm going to make you lose at WrestleMania," he pointed at Roman, who was in the ring, and Roman wasn't looking. It was just a little sly thing. So people are thinking, oh, he's going to turn on him. I'm like, that's exactly what should happen because Cody should finish the story, get the title at WrestleMania from Roman Reigns and his reign. But then The Rock should turn on Roman. Then Roman can actually turn face properly this time and it be received well because he'll turn face against The Rock. And
Rock
then they find out that for Bloodline. Huh?
So you think Rock will take over the bloodline? You think that's the whole?
I think he's going to try to, and then I think they'll fight it out probably at next year's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then the bloodline will disintegrate. Would be my guess, but who knows? We'll see.
All right.
But that's my bet. Anyways, I'm having a great time with wrestling. I love the.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Everything. It's a great time. So, the only other thing I'll mention is, the Grammys were amazing. But only because Miley finally got her awards. Thank you. That's all I gotta say. It's not really nerdy.
We were all thinking of you during that time.
It was a joyous moment. You don't understand. Nobody saw it, and I'm both grateful no one saw it. I'm also disappointed because I lost my shit when she got her first award. I lost it. I jumped up and I was literally trying to control my volume because like my sibling was sleeping upstairs. One of them was awake, one of them wasn't. But I still yelled loud enough that right after I yelled and was like dancing around and shit, my brother who was awake texted me. He said, "So I think she won, huh?" I was like, no fucking shit. Absolutely. Thank God. And then her performance just blew me away. Like I was like literally dancing and singing and also crying because I was just like, this is the best performance of her career. This is a defining moment for her. And I've loved her since Hannah Montana, like since I was like 11 or 12 or whatever. So it was just really cool for me and brought out my childhood obsession, which was her. So fun times. But yeah,
Glad you got to enjoy it.
I think that's all we got for shows, unless there's anything you missed.
No, Taskmaster. Watch Taskmaster, guys. It's funny.
Catching up with the live chat real quick. Y'all are so patient with us ranting. Ballyrock, I think this is a reference to The Last Airbender, said live action on Netflix was bad. I wanted to like it, but they changed too much of the spirit of the show. That's kind of why I heard as well about it. Ian said live action Cowboy Bebop was terrible. I've watched a couple episodes of Airbender, but not feeling it. The One Piece live action show was really good, though. So there's some feedback there.
Cool.
Eric said a film, Pirates versus Wrestlers. I would watch that.
I'd watch that.
Absolutely. Somebody tell WWE that or do it yourself, like whatever way makes it better. Tate said pirate wrestling on a pirate.
That's what I was. Thank you, Tate. That's what I was trying to say. A pirate radio station, a pirate station. Oh God, my brain just wasn't working.
Yeah. Tate says Airbender starts out very Saturday morning cartoon kid friendly, but grows a lot in the second, third seasons. I would agree with that.
That happens with a lot of shows.
Yep, especially animated shows. Cool. All right. Well, we are almost there, guys. An hour and a half in the show, but we've only got 2 segments. One, I'm assuming, will be shorter than the other. We'll talk about video games real quick, just because there's some video game stuff I'm excited about nerd-wise, especially in March. March all of a sudden got packed for me with video games. Out of nowhere. And then we're going to talk about Marvel, DC Comics, any film and TV we want to with them. And then we'll wrap it up, guys. So thanks for staying on with us and chatting more.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Video games. So, Spider-Man 2 is getting a new game plus, which should have been there in the first place, but they must have rushed the release, which is so unfortunate, but at least we're getting it. So that's coming out along with some new costumes, March 7th. And then WWE's 2K24, their new game, is coming out March 8th. But if you order the deluxe edition, which I have, because I have problems, then you get early access. So if you get the deluxe edition, you get to have it 3 days early. And of course, you get some bunch of DLCs and shit with it, because that's what deluxe is for. So I'm excited about that because they're bringing a lot of stuff back. Like they're bringing back casket matches and ambulance matches, and they're going to put elevators that you can fight in the backstage brawls, and they're going to put vending machines in where you can like pop out a can of soda and just throw it at someone's head or some shit. It's so dumb, but it's the little things that matter, guys. They fixed they've updated the blood stuff. So like if somebody, like if you make somebody bleed in the game, in a match, then the blood like actually drips down and pools on the floor, apparently.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm excited. It's chaos, and that's all I want in those games. And then the one I'm most excited about, that's probably the most nerdy. I mean, Spider-Man's pretty nerdy, but they just announced this week. But Star Wars Battlefront, the original 2, not the EA crap. No offense. The EA games aren't terrible anymore, but they're not the best. The classic Battlefronts, the PS2 ones, the original Xbox ones, they are coming March 14th to all the modern consoles, PS5, Switch, Xbox, Steam. I am really fucking hyped because that was my favorite game of all time. Both those games.
Those were fun back in the day. I used to love Star Wars Battlefronts.
So hype. And you can play online with people. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'll say I played the EA ones too. I like the first one more than the second one, but the original Battlefronts were so good.
Oh my God. The best. I'm so fucking hyped. You can play online with people again. You can still do split screens. You got all the maps and shit, like all the DLC maps that originally with it. It seems pretty great. So as long as they don't fuck it up, it's going to be amazing. I'm here for it. As long as there's no like, game destroying glitches, it's going to be pretty great, I think. So I'm really excited to be able to play on an update console, especially that way if and when my 10 plus year old PS2 kicks, and I will be very sad and hold a funeral for it. But if and when that happens, I can still play it because it's on newer systems. So
Right.
I'm really hype about that.
So your PS2, do you make it vertical and do you turn the little PS or do you keep it flat?
My old my PS2, not my PS5.
Your PS2.
Oh no, it's flat.
Well, you know that little PS on the front of it, you can make it go vertical and you can turn the PS so it's still upright if you stand it.
Oh, no, I don't stand it because it's happy where it is. It's in like a horizontal slot, so I can't stand it there. Yeah.
I don't really know what games are coming out that I'm excited about, to be honest with you.
All right. Well, while you're thinking, I'm going to answer the live chat real quick because it's about Star Wars. They're just re-releases, not remakes. Yes, they are re-releases. If you look it up, Google or go on YouTube and look up the Star Wars Battlefront Classic trailer. I know Sony's put it out there. The other console makers I think have, but I know for sure Sony has. Yeah, you'll see it's just like the old ones. It's literally just remastering it, basically.
I would say I know that my favorite fighting game of all time, Tekken 8 just came out, but I cannot bring myself to pay $70 for a game. I usually wait a while when they come out until they drop down, and then I'll buy them.
It's
because
like
I'm
your
cheap.
favorite. You just said, "What the hell?"
Hey, it is my favorite. I've been playing Tekken since the arcade and then PS1. Like I love Tekken, but I don't love the price for games, and I will. I'm anything but patient. I am so patient. I will wait till that thing's like $20 in 2 years, and I'll buy it. Like I do not care.
Listen,
I just beat. Like I waited and bought Hogwarts Legacy for it to drop down to like $40, so I finally bought it. I just beat that. I just beat. Oh man, why can't I think of it? Dragon Quest. Age of Evolution, Dragon Quest 11. That was really good. The second of the Final Fantasy 7 remake is coming out soon. I will buy that immediately. No question about that. The original PlayStation Final Fantasy 7, one of my favorite games.
Immediately for $70 or whatever it is. But Tekken, that you said your favorite, you won't pay $70 for your favorite.
I can tell you why. Because Tekken, even though it's my favorite fighting game, it's still the same game every damn time. Like no matter what,
that's the difference.
It's the same game. So I can play Tekken 7 and be happy, until I eventually will get Tekken 8. But the Final Fantasy remake is a completely different game than the original Final Fantasy 7. And the first one was great. Like the first remake of because they split it up. So Volume 1 was so good. So I'm very excited for number 2. It's going to be great.
I think Ian, I think this is in reference to Final Fantasy. I think he's saying it's out already, dude. You should go buy it.
It said pre-order when I was looking on it.
I don't know.
Just the other day.
All the RVO games.
Well, if that's the case, then I am spending $70 later. Thanks, Ian.
See, look, you're getting TV, you're getting anime, you're getting Kickstarters to pay for, and now you're gonna go drop $70 on a video game. You're welcome.
Yeah.
We're helping you.
If it's out, 100%. Especially because actually my kids will be really mad at me because I haven't played Spider-Man 2 yet. They've both beat it, and they're waiting on me to play it. But I've just been playing nonsense games. Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
I need to play that more. I love the Borderlands franchise.
And I'm playing. I'm always playing Rocket League, just when I'm bored.
Yeah, that's fun.
And NBA 2K. I waited. It just went down 65% off, so I just bought it. Gotta wait till the season's in mid-season.
It's all about the saving, guys. The saving.
It's I became very frugal once kids got involved.
Hey,
and a wife.
I get it.
But
what you need there. Ian says it's Japan only, so yeah. So
see, I was going to say that to him. I say maybe it's out for you
Hey, listen, he gets something first. He deserves it because they got way
He
for
does.
stuff over there too.
You deserve the world, Ian.
I hear you, Ian, on this too. I need DLC for Spider-Man 2. New Game Plus is an industry and new suits. Yeah, the new suits don't look good to me. I agree with you on that. I am still kind of excited to play New Game Plus, but also I didn't care for the story of this game as much as the others.
Oh
So
yeah.
I didn't. It just it's so fucking depressing, the whole fucking story, and the story takes so long to build up. Just whether it's depressing or not, it's a slow build, the story in this game, and then
Yeah.
once it hits, it's done too early. It takes forever to get
Mhm.
to the actual conflict and action, and then once it does, some of the boss fights, they're like back to back to back, and I literally was like, Insomniac Games needs to buy me a new hand. My thumb hurts from all these boss fights back to back, and you just keep having to spam and do the same thing over to beat them. But I still enjoyed it. But yeah, I don't know. I hear that. I want DLC with like Black Cat, like going to like help her girlfriend out or whatever, or literally something. So I'm with you. Yeah,
Aren't
love
you?
the story.
The new thing is you're gonna have playable Venom levels, right?
Yes, but yeah, you can't like replay it with New Game Plus. You will be able to, I would assume. But
Mhm.
yeah, it kind of just pops up, and you're like, because I didn't know those levels were in when I played it because I got it the weekend it came out, so I was happily surprised. I was like, dude, I can be Venom. This is like the video game Hulk Ultimate Destruction that was on like PS2 and GameCube and stuff.
I
You just
love
run
Hulk
through
Ultimate
shit.
Destruction.
Oh,
Hulk
you'll
Ultimate
love those
Destruction.
levels.
You punch those cars and make your fist things, or you get
Yeah,
the bowling ball.
yeah,
Ah, I love Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
yeah. You'll
You're on
love
a
those
car like a
levels.
skateboard.
Yep.
That literally just run around destroying things. That was a fun game.
Yep, it's awesome. So yeah, the Venom levels very much reminded me of that. I was like, "Fuck, I haven't played that game forever, but now this is great because it's just that, but a little more upgraded." So
Wasn't Ultimate Destruction? Didn't it release with the Hulk movie with Edward Norton?
I think so.
I
I
think
think
it
it
did
was
too
around the
because
time at least. I don't know about with, but around that time at
I
least.
remember because that and then the Wolverine X-Men Origins Wolverine games were so much better than the movies.
Yes. Yep.
Be fair though, I do enjoy the Edward Norton Hulk movie.
Hmm.
I didn't think it was bad. I like that he was like on the run, Bruce Banner on the run, and
Fair.
whatnot.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, if we're good on video games, we can use that to transition to Marvel comics and film. Unless you want to talk.
Sure, let's do it.
Sweet.
Just
Hey,
transition.
Bolly Rock, thanks for being here. Good to
Oh,
see you.
later, Bolly. I'll check out those recommendations you sent me for sure.
You're gonna have a busy weekend, man.
I'll make a list.
All right. Well, yeah. So, let's. I don't know. We can hit the comics or the film and TV first for Marvel DC. I don't really care. Where do you want to hit first, Chase? It's our last segment.
Uh, I would like to let's end on comics. So let's hit the show or the movies first.
All right. Well, we already started out the beginning of the show accidentally talking about Madam Web. Wasn't complete
Yeah.
accident though, because we talked about film to start. It was all encompassing. I'm avoiding it till streaming, and again, I will not watch it unless I'm that bored or I'm hanging out with somebody and we want to make fun of something. It's the only time
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. Otherwise, it just seems like torture device.
I just don't imagine myself watching it. Maybe for some stupid reason I will, but I just don't see myself watching
Yeah,
it.
I I don't blame you. Um, I don't know. I remember liking Blue Beetle when it came out. I liked that. I don't remember if I talked about my feelings about that movie on the show or not, but Blue Beetle was pretty good. It wasn't like
I
the
like
best
the
superhero film, but it was good.
I like the actor. I mean, I really like Cobra Kai. So
Yeah.
Zolo, I think's his name.
Yeah.
But what did you as a whole though, Blue Beetle, do you think it would against the DC movies? Do you think it holds up? You think it's one you'll watch again?
I watched it again. I watched it a second time.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
but that was with my boyfriend because he hadn't seen it. He couldn't come see it in theaters when I went. So I was like, yeah, it was good. Let's watch it. I enjoyed it on the second watch. It's still not a favor or anything in terms of like, wow, this blows me away and I want to watch it over and over. And I see like I get the people that do see it that way. I understand it and I'm cool with it. Like if that's what
Hmm.
it does for you, I get it and by all means go for it. It's not me, but go for it. But I still liked it. Like if somebody wanted to watch it right now and I was tired, sure, put it on. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. Go for
Yeah,
it.
I think it's entertaining. I think it's a lot of action. I think it's I don't think it's bad by any stretch. Like I think it's a very entertaining movie. I mean, in my heart of hearts, if you're making Blue Beetle, I want it to be Ted Cord just so we can have Booster Gold and Blue Beetle for some
Well,
reason.
we could have
Possibility.
gotten that if more people saw it because they hinted at that in the end credits, but no, nobody did. So now we won't get that. You know, like
um, but
it's
those two
just
are my
boring.
favorite DC characters, so I would have loved that. But
Yeah,
uh I
yeah,
say two of my favorite DC. I like a lot of DC characters, so like saying something's my favorite is kind of outrageous because it's all encompassing.
yeah. That's completely fair. Ian says he didn't like the over top humor in Blue Beetle. Some parts were ridiculous, but some good action. I'm trying to remember.
Well, I feel
I
like
don't remember.
comic book movies, especially something that's a superhero, can have over the top campy action. To me, that seems like it goes hand in hand together.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I get it if it wasn't for you. No, again, no debate there. For me, I
right.
remember there were some cheesier or kind of like you said, campier moments. I wouldn't say they were over the top, but they were cheesy and campy. So I would just
Mhm.
change how I described it. But either way, I get what you're saying, and I understand that completely. There were just parts that didn't hit as well for me that I know hit better for others, and that's cool.
Yeah.
So I can empathize with that. Eric says, extremely excited for Deadpool 3, The Return of the Huberine. I think most of us are excited about that on some level, at least, even if you're not all over it. It's kind of like you're curious. Like,
Right.
you got to
I
know how he's doing back in the role?
I think it's gonna be good. Like yeah, the Deadpool movies are just fun. I think it'll be good. Uh Now, if I'm already not getting enough messages and DMs and stuff sent to me, I didn't really like Logan.
You're going to get hate for that, Pete. What's wrong with you?
I,
I can't help you there. Because, like, listen, Logan is
it was
not a film.
okay. It was okay. It was just so serious. And
Right.
and my problem with the Wolverine movies in general is that they cannot nail the villain. Like you literally could make the villain anybody. Bring Sabretooth back, but you made a clone of Wolverine? Like that's just so stupid. There's so many villains that could have been. And in the second movie, you ruined Silver Samurai. That was my favorite of the Wolverine movies, the second one. But you ruined Silver Samurai. You made him a big mech. Like, what the hell's that about? And I don't even talk about the first one. The first one had so many problems.
Yeah.
Not even beginning with the fact that Will I Am was in it. Like, but
Yeah.
Logan was just, it had some cool, really cool scenes, and it had some cool stuff in it. But I just wasn't. The first scene they said "fuck" like 18 times just because they could, and I was like,
Yeah. I mean,
um, but I like
yeah.
the slow mo scene, when he like whenever Xavier's like in everybody's heads and he's in the hotel, like I
Mhm.
like that. I tell you what I did like though was the trailer where it played Johnny Cash hurt over top of it, like literally teared up watching that fucking trailer.
Yeah.
And then I saw the movie and I was like, oh, it's okay. They just ruined the ending. They ruined the villain every time. And that's really what took me out of it and why I hold a grudge against it. But
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, the villain thing's a good point because I couldn't have told you who the villain of that movie was until you reminded me that was a clone of Wolverine, essentially. I
right, it
couldn't
could
have
have been
told you that.
Sabretooth. Give me Sabretooth. Give me somebody else from the Weapon X program. Give me Maverick. Give me anybody that would be fighting Wolverine. But instead of a clone of Wolverine, it made no sense to me.
Yeah,
Because you'd already established the Weapon X project because you already had Laura with you. So like they're making other ones. So there could have been it just made no sense for it to just be Wolverine. It could have been
yeah,
Phantom X, you know?
yeah.
Like
No, yeah, I respect that. I think that's actually a good point. In regards to the
I
quality of the
respect that,
film,
Ian. But it being a top five, I'm glad. I respect that opinion. I just have the thing about Wolverine movies that angered me, and I took that into the third one, and I think it made me not enjoy it.
yeah, I mean, again, it's not the kind of film that I rewatch. I've only watched Logan once, but I remember after that film was done and I walked out of the theater, I was like, that's a Wolverine film.
Yeah.
And it's not because it's something I'd rewatch over and over again, because it is incredibly serious. It's brutal. But I was like, I respect the shit out of it for that, because that's what a purely only Logan story is. It is
Hmm.
brutal, it is serious, it's heartbreaking, it's devastating, it's gut-wrenching. That's literally what it is. But I completely respect what you're saying in terms of it it was so serious. Because yeah, like, I can say it's a phenomenal comic book film, but it wouldn't be in my personal top 5 to rewatch, because I won't rewatch it because it's so fucking hard to watch in terms of how
It's a
serious it is.
very serious movie. I like that
Yeah.
Caliban was in it. Like there's a lot of aspects that I really liked. It's just that villain thing. You just had the Marvel Universe
That's
was
the
your oyster.
kryptonite for you. It's the villain thing.
But anyway, get in my DMs about it.
I was gonna
Sure,
say, bother Chase, get in his DMs with your feelings. I'll share you his, of course, too. Um,
but I think
I
Wolverine Deadpool's going to be good. I'm glad that he's in the costume. I'm glad
oh yes, thank God.
that they're. I'm glad that TVA's involved. I'm glad they found a way to bring him, Deadpool into it. I think it's going to be silly and campy, and I think it'll be fun. I think it'll just be an all-around fun movie.
Yeah, I agree. That is all I want from it. And yeah, I am thrilled that Wolverine has his actual yellow costume. That
Yeah.
made me so fucking happy when I saw that shit. I was like, finally. So that gives me
Is
hope for the future X-Men's costumes in live action as well.
is yellow and blue your favorite Wolverine costume?
Oh, 1,000%.
I like yellow and brown. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, see, that's like what people say when you don't want to be basic. You're like, but the brown is cool. I'm
I
like,
love the
listen,
yellow and brown, man.
but that's
I
okay.
love
I like
the
my blue.
I love the '90s X-Men yellow and blue, though, of course. But I love that something about that yellow and brown really works for me.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's all good. But yeah, I like that yellow blue, the OG
Yeah,
classic. That's that's my favorite. You can't go wrong with that. So I'm glad that's what they chose.
yeah.
Um, I rewatched X-Men Days of Future Past. Speaking of X-Men
Ooh.
films, um, that was another one actually where it was more serious than I thought, than I remembered.
Hmm.
And after watching it, I was like, I get why people really praise this film. And I wouldn't say they're wrong to praise it, but I can't say I want to rewatch this anytime soon, because again, it's so fucking serious and depressing, dude. Like,
They
dear
all get straight up
fucking
murdered at the
God.
beginning, like
I mean,
Warpath and Iceman.
yeah, well, and then like you have to watch like all of them, yeah, all the killing and shit. And it's hard to watch as a fan, and then amongst all the other turmoil that's in the film that makes it so serious. And the
Hmm.
fact too that like so much, I can't remember what I wrote, because I reviewed it on Letterboxd too, and I think I wrote what I wanted more to focus on, but I can't remember. But there was something at the end where I was like, I wanted to focus more on these characters. Instead, this is a story I got, and that's not the story I
Hmm.
wanted you to tell when you're doing Days of Future Past. It's not a bad story. It's just not the story I wanted you to tell for this.
They, they focused way too much on Mystique. Like that's just pretty much the extent.
Yeah, I'd
I think
agree.
for X-Men movies, they focused a lot on Mystique, instead of the X-Men.
Well,
Uh,
honestly, I would actually, I mean, Mystique, they definitely was a huge plot point, and that was weird. And it's not the kind of plot point you'd make for her. But they also screwed her up
yeah,
because she grew up with Charles Xavier. That's weird. I hate that in those films. That's the worst part of those films, is that huge change they did. It's not small, it's huge to me, but whatever. Um, but yeah, like the whole thing, you're just following uh Charles in the past and Logan in the
mm,
past. And it's just another Logan film basically. That was,
right.
I was like, this is X-Men Days of Future Past, not Logan Days of Future Past. What the fuck? And I get
Hmm.
why they chose to do it for general audiences and stuff. I understand it. And I'm still kind of like bummed, I guess. But it was
They're
still
trying
really
the
good.
whole explanation of phasing his mind back and all that. It's just I don't know, but I do like the movie. It's
Yeah.
out of all those X-Men movies, it's probably my second favorite. I still really like the first one, First Class.
Yeah.
Um, I thought that had a really good villain, and that's as you know, that does a lot for me. I think the villain was great in
For
it.
sure.
I like when Magneto put the quarter through his head at the end. Shit was
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have some complaints. Darwin is a big complaint that I have.
Oh yeah. That's like the biggest complaint with that film.
Havoc is, but there was I really enjoyed Days of Future Past as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Um, this is a controversial one. I kind of want to wrap up the film and TV so we can make sure we have time to talk comics without going on 3 hours. But I will say I enjoyed the Marvels. I rewatched that recently. Um, it
I
was
haven't
a
got
lot
to
of
it yet.
fun. It's fun. I
I'm
won't
sure I'll
go
like
in
it.
with yeah. I don't think if you go in expecting fun and all that, you'll get it. There's some parts of the movie that are either not as well written beats than others, or depending on who you are as a viewer, maybe cringy. But if you
Mhm.
like camp and stuff, you'll love it because that's the thing.
Speaking of
I think
things,
yeah.
speaking of things being fun, I'm very upset and expecting it to be fun. I'm upset that they canceled the second season of She-Hulk because I really
Yeah.
enjoyed She-Hulk. I thought She-Hulk was good.
Yeah, it's definitely
Um,
not as funny as She-Hulk. She-Hulk, and it's not as clever writing as She-Hulk was. But yeah, if you enjoyed that, then I think you'll enjoy the Marvels to a good extent. Absolutely.
before we go into the comics, I just want to real fast say I saw the trailer today for that
Uh-huh.
uh what is it, for Boy Kills World, and that movie looks good. Well, I'm
I
excited
haven't
for
heard of
that.
that. I'll have to look
It's
that up.
it's Bill Skarsgård, but just not being Pennywise himself. Uh his family was killed in front of him, and when they were killed, he went deaf and mute. So he never learned how to talk. So
Mm,
all he has is his inner monologue, which is the sound of the last video game he played. So it's John H. Benjamin, like Archer, in
mhm.
his head doing all the talking. And it just looks like an outrageous, over the top action movie. Like it's like a battle world, like an arcade, like like Villain Arcade. They're like in a game, and he has to
Mhm,
try to survive the game. It
mhm.
looks over the top. It looks like one of the Crank movies or like Shoot 'em Up or something like that. It
Right.
looks just like an over the top action movie, and it looks fun.
Yeah, that sounds very chaotic, but I love it. That's what we want here. Absolute chaos. Ian said, I really like the Marvels. It's one of the funniest MC movies.
Oh,
There's a
cool.
part in it that which I won't spoil because Chase hasn't seen it, but there's a certain part in it that involves being in space and flirkins. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. And I saw the movie the first time and laughed my ass off at that part. And I was like, this is one of the greatest, dumbest scenes I've ever seen in my life. And then I saw it again in theaters and I knew exactly what to expect. I'd seen it before. I remembered the scene very well. And I still laughed my fucking ass off. Dude,
Good.
that shit is gold. Like that deserves so much more praise. Like than people just taking the time to bash the whole film. Like, can people give credit
Mhm.
to that scene at least? Because that shit's funny.
I like to say that I am in the dark on a lot of things, but I just don't understand the Brie Larson hate. Did it come from something? Like, did she do something?
There was one people are just sexist, so who the fuck cares? But I know one point, this was years ago. I know there was one thing that people every now and then will pull up and try to use against her, but they take it out of context. They don't share the full clip of it. She was at
Mm,
some like award show or something, some presentation. She was giving a speech. She was basically talking about how it was about diversity in film and TV and the entertainment industry, things like that. She's talking, in general about, how, yeah, we don't need just, men and white straight men and all this everywhere. We need to represent other people and stuff. I'm very paraphrasing it, obviously, but she
obviously.
said stuff along the lines, and people will take the bite where she basically says, there's men everywhere. There's too many men, or we need less men, or something like that. They'll take that and cut it, and they're like, "She's a man hater," and you're like, "What the
Mm.
fuck, bro? Like, get over
Well,
yourself. Nobody
I was
cares."
curious if there was an actual reason,
No,
because I was like, people love hate on everything she does. I wonder, like, if she's just a bad person. I'm sorry.
no. I mean, the only thing I would question with her, but again, I can not like something about somebody and still like them. People don't understand this concept. Like, I don't like that she was into cryptocurrency for a while. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if she still does, but she had her Twitter pictures, cryptocurrency and stuff. And I was like, girl, why? Come on, you need to know better. But like, she wasn't using it to hate on anybody or be a jerk. She was just being dumb or whatever. So whatever.
Yeah.
but that's the worst thing I've seen with her. There's
Oh, okay.
actual
I was
reason
just
I know
curious.
of. Yeah,
Sorry
yeah.
to
Sorry.
derail everything. Just curious.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, but no, not that I know of. I haven't heard of anything that's actually significantly problematic that she's done.
Hmm. Well, speaking of significantly problematic, let's talk about Marvel Comics right now.
What's Marvel doing? Damn, what they do now?
Nothing. That's the thing. Is I mean, I know they're launching Ultimate, but right now, if you look at my pull list, I literally have Ultimate X-Men because of Peach Momoko. That's
Mhm.
the only Marvel pull I have right now.
That's rough.
I'm sure I'm missing out on some good stuff that's out there, but comparative to the indies and DC, like I pull more AWA comics than I do Marvel comics. You know, like that's wild to me.
No, that's fair. I mean, I didn't realize it, but unless I'm missing something, the only Marvel book I have in my poll is Moon Knight, and that just
Yeah,
keeps being freaking stellar, dude. The Vengeance of the Moon Knight, which is after the last Moon Knight series, it's a direct uh follow up. It's just so good, dude. Like every time I'm like, maybe Moon Knight's not going to be as good this week. I don't know. It Jed McKay and Alessandro Capuccio, I believe that's the name, the artist.
yeah.
They're
Crucio is a
so
great artist. Now I was wondering if Jed
oh
McKay was
so
still
good.
writing it.
Yep, still doing it. So yeah, but otherwise, I don't know what Marvel's doing. I don't know, but also
They're banking on this Ultimate Universe to bring in more people, like it did in the early 2000s when they first launched it.
ah
But I don't know. I don't know. There's like I know that the Fantastic Four series started off really good, and everyone says it's fizzled out. Uh, I want to like more Marvel stuff, but also I'm not too upset that my money's going to more indie comics than it is to Marvel comics. But
yeah. I mean, they need to get the X-Men back together. They ran Krakoa dry, and they're dragging it out even more.
I
And I'm
enjoyed
like, no.
Krakoa. They just really, really missed. I don't know what happened to it. I enjoyed what was on. I hate that the X-Men can't ever have a safe place. Every time they try to get a safe place, it gets destroyed or something. Like writers, like the only thing we can do is make them unhappy again.
Right. It
Like
fucking sucks, dude. I
it's
completely
very
agree
annoying. I
every
really
time.
enjoyed Krakoa. I liked bringing everybody together. I liked a lot of the relationships that came out of it, and it sucks that now they're probably just like going to go back to a mansion, and it'll probably be destroyed at some point. Like it makes no sense to me that they can't just at least let them have a home.
Yeah.
You know, they can't even be on Mars. Like what the fuck?
Well,
Uh,
they just won't let them be happy because they're like, what other plot do we have? It's like, to me, it's
right.
similar to the concept of like if you have couples on television, right? You have a couple. They're like, we can't ever let a couple be happy for more than X amount of time because we have to create plot and drama to continue
Right.
the show. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you can have like little arguments or disagreements, or yeah, they have tough periods. That's life. That makes sense. But you don't need to make a life altering or relationship ending drama
Mhm.
every fucking time. It's the
Right.
same with the X-Men. Oh wow, well, fans are tired of Krakoa because Hickman left. That's what happened. Hickman left and everything went fucking downhill over time because all these writers are trying to do all these different things. And as much as I'm all about writers doing what they want creatively and having that freedom to do so, Krakoa was created by Hickman, right? And it was his foundation, and everything tied together in some way, right? There was a masterwork of behind the scenes orchestrating everything, putting it together. And when Hickman left, that disappeared. No one ever
Hmm.
filled that spot. And so all these writers, artists, everybody just kind of spiraled, and there was no one to ground everybody's ideas and say, hey, that's great. Let's try that. Hey, let's rework that. Actually, we're not doing that. Like, you need somebody to make those decisions. It sucks in terms of we want everybody to just be happy and do what they want creatively, but you need somebody to make those choices. So
Yeah.
to me, that's ever after Inferno, everything started going downhill. Everything
I
lost its
loved
fizzle.
I loved Hellions. Hellions was so
Oh, that
good.
was the best. Yes.
The
Really.
first volume of Marauders was really good. I liked the Sabretooth and Exiles as well.
Mhm.
Did you read that? Because it was a lot of the Hellions
I think
people
I
in it.
read like 2 or 3 of the issues, and then for
It
some
was
reason I
good.
fell off. It was very interesting for sure, but it wasn't funny like Hellions. Hellions was fantastic
Hilarious.
because well, and it was so talented and unique in the fact that one panel I'm laughing my ass off, and literally 4 panels later I want to bawl my eyes out because it gets
Yeah.
depressing. And then next thing you know, you're laughing again. It just found a way. Like people, I think Zeb Wells was, or I don't know if he still is, but he was running Spider-Man at one point after Hellions, and people I guess didn't like that run of his as much, which is fine. Whatever. I haven't read it. I don't know. Maybe it was terrible. But then people start shitting on him as writer's course because they're like, oh, well, if you suck at Spider-Man, you suck at everything. And like, no, he did great with Hellions. Like, that's the thing. People need to understand some writers know their thing, but they need to stick with their thing sometimes.
His Sinister was hilarious.
Yes.
Like, all the shit Sinister did was good. He made me enjoy Empath and still just hate him so much.
Yes.
Yep. And I felt bad for Empath at the very end, because he went right back to not being important at all, back to his old life. Like, you saw he was sad.
He sucks.
He did deserve it. He deserved every fucking thing that happened to him. But
he can fucking kick bricks with that one. Ian said Ultimate Spider-Man and Incredible Hulk are the only ones I read. Ultimate Black Panther's pretty good. Okay, that's good to know. I'm glad Black Panther's good.
I haven't even read I don't even know if Ultimate X-Men came out yet. Has it? I know it's pre-order, but I wouldn't get it in until a couple weeks. But
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is, but
so that's the state of Marvel. How you feel about DC right now?
Well, DC, I'm still, as usual, just annoyed and disappointed with, and their titles, and how they treat Supergirl. Which one day I will do the biggest journalism investigation of my life, and I will figure out what has happened over all these decades that has made DC and all these past editors and people behind the scenes hate her as a character for some reason. But that's
showing up in the Power Girl series. Have you been reading that?
No, I don't want to read that shit. I want Supergirl book. What the fuck?
Power Girl's so good.
I just listen. Oh, but look, we put Supergirl in the Power Girl book. That makes everything better. No, give her book back. You guys took her. You canceled her book in 2020 just because you could, and you didn't say anything about it because you could get away with it, which you did, which sucks. And now you expect me to just be happy? No, you guys have a lot to do, DC. Absolutely not. No, and none of it makes sense with her, especially after. Anyways, that's all our tangent. I'm gonna stop because otherwise I'll rant about that forever. But I say all of that, but surprisingly, I'm pulling Poison Ivy. That's not surprising. But surprising, I'm pulling multiple DC books. Poison Ivy's fantastic still. Love it, love it, love it. Birds of Prey. I love Kelly Thompson. I haven't read everything she's read, obviously, but she's done a great job of Birds of Prey. And Batman City of Madness. I picked up that last issue, the third one as well. I need to read that. And then Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. That has been really fun. It's just been action and go, go, go. And Supergirl's in it. And I love that for me. And Amazon's Attack has been fun. So that's why I have.
Excellent. I feel differently than you about DC. I'm loving DC right now.
Yeah, you and Skylar both. My siblings.
They're giving me my JSA back. They're giving me my JSA characters, Yeah, so I got Just Side America's back. Jay Garrick. So after the Stargirl and the Stargirl and the Lost Children that reintroduced all these old sidekicks.
Yep.
It's so good. And so Jay Garrick got a daughter back, the Boom. It's been really good. I haven't been reading it, but I hear a lot of good things about the Green Lantern series right now. Oh gosh, what else do I get? I'm getting so much DC I can't even think about. The Wesley Dobbs Sandman series has been great.
I'll say
Birds of Prey. You already said Birds of Prey, but Birds of Prey has been one of my favorite Birds of Prey teams ever. Like the fact when I saw that they had Big Barda and Zealot on there, I was sold. I was like, this is gonna be so good. And Cassandra Cain, all heavy hitters to me. Yeah. Coming out soon is going to be Batman Dark Age by
I will be pulling that. Yep, I'll get
by Mike Allred and Mark Russell. I got right here the Superman Space Age that they did.
Yep,
was so good. It was so good. So I'm really excited for Dark Age. For the life of me, I didn't write it down, so I can't remember all of my DC pulls. But I'm pulling a lot of DC right now.
Really now? I would never guessed.
JSA I saw a cover of the one coming out in like May, and it's got Jack Knight, Starman, and on the
Nice.
cover.
There you
And Tony
go.
Harrison the cover. Oh, I'm so excited. He hasn't been here since he retired. I
Mm,
don't. I want you to read Starman, so I'm not going to tell you what happened as to why he retired, but he's been gone, and they've never brought him back for that
yeah.
reason. So I've always respected that. And now it's been enough time that I think him coming back makes a lot of sense. Um, in terms of time frame and if you knew why he stopped and stuff. So
Sure.
I'm very excited. I don't know why he's on the cover. I'm hoping that it's going to be a mainstay for a
Hopefully
bit,
it's
but
not
I'm very excited.
misleading. Yeah.
You know, because he gave the Star Rod to Stargirl. You know,
Right.
she took up the mantle.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm excited. Excited to see where that's going too.
Yeah.
Uh, they're bringing Good Guy Solomon Grundy back. I think I love Good Guy Grundy from the Starman series.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, there's just a lot of good stuff I think out there from DC right now.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
not good
That's
stuff with Supergirl.
no. Everybody else gets what they want in DC, and I get bullshit.
Hey, you know how long I've
I
been waiting for JSA to come back? I've waited a long
listen.
time.
Listen, I try to be as positive as I can, but I'm tired, and also Supergirl is a tough topic with DC Comics with me because I swear there's some crazy conspiracy that's been going on for decades behind the scenes with editorial and stuff that they really hate her character, and I don't understand it. But I want to figure it out one day and see if it is there. If it isn't, and I'm wrong, no worries. But like, I have
You know
that
what?
feeling.
I just thought of another Dark Horse comic. The Goon's coming back. I don't know if you ever read the Goon. I
No, I
love the
heard that
Goon.
the goon.
A new Goon series is coming out. I saw that too. I got that pre-ordered. I'm excited about that too. I just now looked down and saw one of my Goon trades and it reminded me.
Nice,
Uh,
nice.
very
Yeah.
excited.
Ian said World's Finest. See, World's Finest would be better to me, obviously, if DC would allow the man who writes that series, who literally said, like, in written language on the internet, on like a Reddit question from somebody, that he would like to write a World's Finest Supergirl specific book for her, like a spinoff. He literally said
Who
he
would
would
be
love
back?
to do it.
Who would be the Batgirl?
Why do you need Batgirl in the book? Stop trying to pair her up with everyone. Supergirl can
Called World's
stand on her
Finest.
own. Fine. Well, then if you're gonna put Batgirl, then you know what? Put Cassandra Cain. Put that dynamic in. They're switching up the Birds of Prey team all the time anyway, according to Kelly Thompson. This team won't stay the same. So try it out. Or do Stephanie Brown, but it's not Oracle. Okay, Barbara Gordon is Oracle in my world. Thank you, everyone.
Listen to me right now, Kelly Thompson. You take Barda off this team, I'm out. So
just clips that and tweets it at her. Immediately gets blocked. I'm sorry, Kelly. I love her. She's awesome.
I don't know if I've ever read anything by her other than this Birds of Prey, but it's been really good. Also, the art in it is so good. But
her Captain Marvel run is what introduced me to her. I
okay.
have all of it. She's so good at writing characters. That's my favorite part about Kelly Thompson as a writer. When she writes characters, she writes them. She knows them very well. She writes the relationships very true to who the characters are. When the plot's fantastic on top of that, it's just the icing on the cake. You know what I mean? But she's so great with characters, and those are my favorite kinds of writers. And she does.
Well, I'm
great
enjoying her Birds of Prey. First thing I've heard I read, and I'll pick her up again. Like if I see her name on something new coming out, I might just get it just because much I'm liking this. So
yeah,
she's making a fan out of me.
I would recommend her Captain Marvel run, especially if you like the Birds of Prey and you like the dynamics between the team and all that. Because Captain Marvel, even though it's Captain Marvel, she always is pretty much partnering up with other people on the boat, like Firewoman and stuff. So the dynamics are all there. And it's very Kelly Thompson does a great job balancing, more camp humor without it being in your face all the time.
Yeah,
she does a really good job with that, and I like it. But yeah, what else? Ian said Birds of Prey. I haven't been reading Action Comics. It needs more Supergirl. Anyways, Wonder Woman I've heard is very good. I know Tom King's writing it. Detective Comics, I think Rumvia is still writing it. Nightwing is, I think people are saying Nightwing's going to finish up after this next one. Tom Taylor's run at least will. Is that true?
I don't know. I haven't heard that.
I'll have to.
Is that
I just saw a tweet, so I didn't read an official article, so that's why I'm like, I don't know if that's true or they're just bullshit.
The artist Bruno
Redondo.
Redondo, is he leaving it too then?
I don't know. I
Huh.
I know nothing. I just saw that one tweet. Ian says that Nightwing is finishing up. Yep. Yeah. Oh, Ian. Yes. Kelly Thompson's Black Widow, which won an Eisner Award, by the way. And then right after it won the Eisner, Marvel canceled it. Stupid
They do that.
Marvel. Bitches. Absolute bitches. I can't with them. Dark Knights of Steel was enjoyable. I had to drop it because I couldn't stand what they did, what was happening with Supergirl in the comic, which is they had to change her name so it wasn't Kara, because God forbid Kara Zor-El is not straight in a comic. They literally changed her name. And it just so happens she's with that version of hers with a woman in the comic. Again, DC has it out for Supergirl, and I don't get it. But anyways, and then they made her the angry cousin trope, which angered me more. That was the part that really killed it for me. Well, she just got all angry and was going out to kill left and right. And I was like, this. I love Mr. Taylor. Like, two of my favorite runs, and he wrote them, are X-Men Red from 2018, which is amazing, and All New Wolverine for Laura Kinney. Absolutely, those are the first two things I read from him. Absolutely astounding. Deceased, like the first run Deceased he did in particular, absolutely astounding. But I had to drop Dark Knights of Steel eventually because I'm a picky asshole. So it's on me. It's on him.
I haven't read a lot of Tom King. I like. I'm trying to look see what I have here. His Mr. Miracle I really liked with Mitch Gerard. But I love Mitch Gerard's art. But
I'm talking about Tom Taylor. Where'd we get to Tom King?
Oh,
did you mix him up like King. On Twitter? You did the Twitter thing where people mix them up. I love that.
Oh, I'm the worst.
It's okay. I have not read Mr. Miracle by Tom King, though. I've heard it's very good.
You should. So, it is very good.
I know there's a lot of things I should read, especially this. Chase should make a list for me. It says things Lauren should read.
Should read. Chase. Yeah, like Aerosmith. You don't even know.
Aerosmith? Why are you bringing up the band Aerosmith?
Kirk Busiek and Carlos Pacheco. Aerosmith.
Oh. See, that's why
so good.
Oh, Arrow, not like Arrow, like the band. See, I thought
like an arrow.
You said band. I got you. Okay.
Now Aerosmith is good, and Carlos Pacheco, one of my favorite artists of all time. Very sad when he died.
Yep. Eric said King's Joker story in The Brave and Bold was really good.
Oh, good.
I still think they need to retire Joker for like 5 years, maybe 10, but they won't. So,
it's one of those things. People said they need to get rid of Wolverine for a while, and they finally did. And now, he's not in everything. But that's Joker and Batman. They're going to be in everything because they sell.
But the best part about Logan, like when you got to take a break from Logan, you still have Wolverine. You have Laura. You're welcome.
Well, yeah, now. Yeah, now.
Yeah, problem solved. Great.
At the time when I'm talking about 90s, early 2000s, when Wolverine was on every fucking team, it made no sense. How's he on every X-Men team and the Avengers? He was just in everything.
It's because everybody likes him. They got away with it in Days of Future Past when they did that movie. That whole film is a Wolverine fucking film.
It is.
And it worked. Everybody, not everybody, obviously, but so many people really love that film. And again, I'm not saying they can't love it. I'm just saying, if you love that film, then it means it worked using Logan there. So don't say you don't want them to do that when it worked, which isn't bad. It just worked. So
can't argue with that.
Anything else we got with comics for the night? I mean, we could talk comics forever, obviously.
I know. I can just look around and start talking.
I know. But is there anything that we are dying to talk about that we haven't been able to talk about with comics lately? Anything specific you're like, this is the thing?
That's what I was trying to think of. That's why I was trying to look around and give myself a did I talk about the Enfield Gang? The Enfield Gang Massacre was so good. Did you read that? Do you know what it is?
Nope.
Okay. It was 5 issues. It is a that Texas Blood story, but way in the past. So it's still Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips, and it's about this gang that was it's one of the reasons why. Okay, so in that Texas Blood, how they say that the Ambrose County is bad luck county, like it's a haunted county, and there's problems. Yeah, I guess what they're saying is this Enfield Gang Massacre is part of the reason why there's bad juju around Ambrose County. So this is about the massacre. The whole is about, all that happening, and it's all like the paper is like old newspaper, like in the book, and there's like newspaper articles in the back explaining everything that's happening and the history and stuff like that. It's just really, really good.
Sweet.
It's a Western, it's that far
Yeah,
back.
we like them Westerns. Yeah.
And Jacob Phillips is just killing it in art. He's so good. And it's just, if you like That Texas Blood, you're going to like it. It feels very much like it, but it's, it has like blurs the lines between who's the bad guys and who's the law, like just the reason things are getting done, why they're wanted in the first place. Like it's very good. Yeah. And it just ended. And right now the trade is for pre-sale, and the trade has the newspaper paper in it too. So I think people should check it out if you get the chance.
Hell yeah, I like it. Yeah, That Texas Blood has been incredibly popular. Both Chris and Jacob are incredibly talented, so I'm all about it. And Westerns are fucking cool. So
right. Oh, before we go, I feel bad for not mentioning it mid-show when there's more people here, but I'm going to be on Lost in Comics episode on Tuesday. It is the very first book club. We are talking about Dark Phoenix Saga. I just read all of that again, and I'm very excited to be doing that. So if anybody's still in the chat right now, tune in Lost in Comics on Tuesday, and I'm going to be the special guest there.
Hell yeah. Dark Phoenix Saga is a banger. It's the OG comic for me. Absolutely.
Love that art from back then too.
Oh, 1000%. Yeah, the Dark Phoenix Saga, it literally is like, the if you picked one comic store to be like your comic Bible, that would be it for me. Like, I need to reread it, honestly. I haven't read it in years.
I love it, but if you're making me pick an X-Men comic, it's God Loves, Man Kills. That's probably my favorite X-Men story.
Ian says, that's cool, I wasn't invited. You know what, Ian? I wasn't invited either. And Dark Phoenix Saga is one of my favorites. And I commented on Chris's post and everything when he said, anybody like Dark Phoenix Saga? I was like, I do. And I never heard from Chris, but Chase did. Anyways, I'm totally joking.
I'm sorry.
Invited, but Chase is there on our behalf, and Chris is amazing, and probably just being mindful of me taking a break from podcasting. But yeah, I'm super excited. Y'all should check it out. I will try to be there. That's my goal, especially because I would like to reread it. I'm
very excited to see how Pouch's take on it.
Man, I love Pouch. David's so funny. Listen, I got to meet him and Chris last year at HeroesCon, and they are both exactly who you think they are on screen. So Chris is wonderful. He's very fun to talk to, gracious. He also can get very serious and give you really wise and helpful advice. And then Pouch is having a blast. He's the sweetest guy. He is having a ball. If you're around Pouch, you're having a great time. So they're exactly.
I'm positive he loved the Hellfire Gala issues, at least, or the Hellfire issues at the beginning of it. With White Queen and Black Queen. I'm sure you like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hey, listen, I love a guy who's actually a good person and is just honest about what he likes. That's fine.
I know, love it.
Absolutely. Eric said God Loves, Man Kills is epic. And Ian said that he will be in the chat, Chase. Good deal.
Oh, excellent.
Thanks, Ian. Hell yeah. We love it. Well, it has been almost 2.5 hours of amazing talking with everybody. But obviously,
it's flown by for me.
While. Chase could probably go for 6 hours.
And, somebody.
Yeah, Chase could go for 6 hours and not notice a thing, which is what we want, though. That's kind of attitude we want here. But I'm going to be mindful of our time and everybody else's. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Those of you that did, whether you were not in the comments or chat, that is cool. We're glad we had you anyway. Shout out to Ian and Eric, the Punisher, Tate being here. Thank you, Tate. Good to meet ya. Bali was here. Yep. Kurtz from Two Geeks Talking was here. Zeddy from Vigilante 1989. And of course, I don't think I mentioned it earlier. Ian is part of the Nerd Room podcast. They are also really, really wonderful people. So you should check them out if you have not as well. Lots of good connections here tonight. That's one thing you can find here at the Nerd Neighborhood. If you don't
all parts of the neighborhood.
Yep. It's just other places to go talk more nerdy stuff with. If we don't talk about all the stuff you like all the time, that's cool. Maybe the Nerd Room does. Maybe Vigilante 1999 does. Check them out. Find the nerdy place that makes you happiest. That is
Yep.
what.
Find where you belong. You're going to enjoy it.
Yep. Absolutely. Good to see you too, Ian. Miss you lots.
Thanks for being here the whole time, Ian. Loved it.
I know you really put up with us a while. Thank you for doing it. But yeah, we are still working on, trying to figure out how we're going to be more consistently active and what we're doing, things like that. So just be patient with us. If there is anything you'd like to see from us in the future, let us know. Having more feedback really helps us kind of help, be a part of the neighborhood and figure out how we can help you guys as well. We like talking just for fun too, but we also want to help you guys out and talk about what you guys like and do what you guys like. So let us know if you have any feedback. Otherwise, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because eventually we will get back on a normal track and do more things. So you don't want to miss it. And, make sure you're following us on Twitter at MBHC Comic Show. Nowadays, you will not know if it's me or Chase because now Chase also tweets on the social media account. So that'll be fun for you guys to guess who's tweeting. I'm very excited about that. Chase was like, "Are you sure I can do this?" Or, "Hey, I'm sorry to post this." I was like, "Dude, that's fine. Now people get to guess who." I love it. Add some surprise and randomness to it. But yeah, shout out especially to you, Chase. Thank you so much for jumping on with me and being so patient with me and my health and jumping on here. If you guys can't tell, Chase is a bubble of positivity, of energy. He just wants to talk comics and nerdy stuff and have fun. So thank you, Chase. He is
no problem.
Me, keep things afloat and keep my spark to want to do this as well. So thanks again, Chase. Really appreciate you.
Just glad you brought me along.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for subbing, Tate. I don't know how you found us either, but I'm grateful for it and really appreciate you and any feedback you have for us. I highly recommend checking out some of our old videos in the past where we actually did more production and there were actual more segments and we interviewed people. Highly recommend checking those out and seeing what you thought of them because we're just trying to figure out the way we go in the show. But other than that, guys, thanks again for joining Nerdy Neighborhood and we will see you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.